15. Hell to play.
Yeah. Going at you. Staying quarantined. Kind of.
Yeah. I don't know. We're all separate but equal. Joined here tonight by my brother, your uncle, your friend, Brett Klug.
Brett Klug.
Hi.
Of Carp City fame. Also,
Carp City fame.
Hi.
Also, check him out at Lake Country CBD.
We can edit that out.
Co-founder
if you
of
want.
Is this on?
Yeah, that is on. Yeah,
Okay.
Co-founder of Thrash Dad.
it's true.
God, that guy's got so many superlatives to his name. Basically like a doctor, MD, so
nice.
much stuff
Yes.
going there. Yeah.
It's a lengthy business card. It's more like a
it's
3-page handout. He looks like a Jehovah's Witness trying to give the.
So what do you do?
What do you need? This is the easier question.
Yeah, what do you need? What do you need me to do? Find a way.
Needs fulfiller. I'm a needs fulfiller.
There you go.
That's interesting, dude. Pass that business card out. See what kind of calls you get.
Yeah, dude.
Get a
That's
couple.
It's
Might-
just like
actually, you might get the police. They'd be, would you clarify?
it would just.
Was that
the only
N supposed to be a W?
The only,
Need fulfiller?
the only thing on the business card though would be like some missed connections Craigslist link or
Right.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could. Wow.
But
see my needs.
among
fulfilled.
I have several needs to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
But most recently, dabbling in a little day trading. Is that okay to say?
I suppose you could say that. Not really yet. I'm learning about actually trading options. All I've started to do is buy stock on my own, like many grown-ups probably do. But I feel like we've made some good calls. When I say we, there's just a pretty wealthy dude that comes into the store that has thrown a couple out. They just happen to be my two biggest percentage winners the other day when I looked at it. I was like, he had rattled off a couple other ones. I gotta figure out where I wrote those down.
You have to start
'Cause I only
recording
picked-
those conversations.
Yeah, because I only picked up two of them. But I don't know who couldn't have made money over the past couple weeks, to be honest. April April saw the biggest gains in a month since 1987. Set the record.
I tell you what,
After Black Monday.
who couldn't have made money was you said Black Monday. You triggered me big time. God, I haven't been able to watch that show.
Yeah, they're making us. Oh, you haven't seen any of the second season?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
How are you watching this?
I don't. Dave and I have been watching it.
On the same account?
I don't know how Dave gets them.
Damn it. Okay,
We
we'll
do
talk
have
this
Showtime at our house, but I think he gets them through nefarious ways. But they just play them on Showtime.
Nefarious.
This is off-air conversation I need to have with you.
We've seen half of the season. It is fire. But
You can go ahead and have the conversation.
how much I
I'll
love
just
about
edit it
fire.
out.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You edit?
No.
Oh.
No.
No, we do not edit.
So, anyways, I said Black
There's our
Monday
edit out.
because there has been no amount of gain comparable since then. It set some kind of record. I don't know if it topped 87, if it matched 87, if it's just the closest since.
Mm-hmm.
But April saw huge gains. So you're a dumbass if you invested money and are down right now. It seems like
Usual, if you in the stock market, if you saw a drop and then you panicked, bailed out, and then you
Yes.
haven't gotten in, you're an idiot.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they usually say, staying level-headed is what's going to get you ahead in the end. Because
all
when
mine.
if you follow the trends, you're always going to be, kind of chasing the tail.
Yep, and you might time it right. You might do well, but you also might not. And I was telling Jaxon, there's all sorts of statistics out there that'll tell you, if you miss the 5 biggest days of the market each year because you were trying to time it, it's almost impossible to catch up. But that's just based broadly on how, the 30 stocks that make up the Dow or the 500 that make up the S&P. That it's just based on what they did. It doesn't. When you're picking specific, a lot of the little ones that Jaxon and I are picking have nothing to do with either of those two.
No.
You can swing the totally opposite. What the market does is not indicative of what one stock does. But
Exactly.
so I threw $1,000 into one, that at one point was worth like $1,740 one day. Like, and that's like in just the course of a couple days, you're up like almost double your money. Like, that's exciting. But every single thing I've bought right now, I have no interest in selling, even if it goes to half of what I bought it for, because I bought things at like lows in so many cases, like Marcus Corporation. So think like the Pfister Hotel.
I have a little bit invested in that because I know how they're propped up.
So think about
You hardly know her. Had to do it, man.
Yeah, it's like
had to do it. How
say it. You gotta say it.
Yeah.
anyways,
But Marcus more
you
so
would've-
the movie theater chain above
the
that.
movie theaters.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you looked at their stock right before coronavirus, it's on a steady climb up. At its height, it's at $48. Coronavirus happens, plummets. I bought it at $10.69. It's like, you're telling me once this goes back to normal, Marcus's stock won't go back to normal,
Right.
and I'll have quadrupled my money at some point?
Well, and
Like,
if you're
that's
thinking
exciting.
long, like if that's money that you're
It's money I don't need. Yeah, so
right?
I'll just
And
leave it for a
sitting in
long
there
time.
for a long time, like 10 years.
Yes.
Like
So
That's the big. I think that's
That's
the biggest
retirement.
point is to like get into this right now, and don't look at it on a week to week basis. You got to look at this like you got to look at what it was like a year ago. Look at what you're buying at it now.
right,
Yeah.
like
End
a
of
real
March.
estate, like
Yeah.
a real estate
End of
investment.
March.
Right?
Exactly.
So I just started April 1st with money that I earned off a prior investment. So it's not good to look at it like it's free money, but at least I don't have like blood in this money, like, or sweat, or whatever. My back did not break because of this money. I wasn't doing anything that I don't enjoy doing to earn this. So if the market, which it very well could do, still take another plummet on us, this can be a false rally.
This could be a W shape.
Yes, this could be a W rally where we've been on the climb up. We might see another plummet before a real rise.
I've heard whispers. Like
So that could happen. And even if it does, I'm not going to lose sleep because I don't, at least right now, I don't need any of that money. So my game plan is long term. But to give you an idea of like swings, at one point Wednesday, and this is throughout the week, it's just been on a crazy climb, but I'm pretty sure I started out the day Wednesday like 10 grand ahead on my investment, which is like $37,000 or something. So I'm ahead $10,000 in like 15 days of the market day being open or something like that. And at one point in the day, I've passed 20,000 ahead. I don't have any interest in selling anything, so instead it's just exciting. But yeah, you said like check it like every couple days or like weekly. Like I'm checking it every like
hour,
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Me
too. You're day
I
trade.
said 15. He said
Yeah.
10.
That's 'cause I'm honest.
You're
That's
day
'cause I'm honest.
trading now. You're like a
Oh,
motherfucker. You got like.
Well, I'm
you got,
watching-
Are you
I'm
got
just
quad? Are you
curious.
quad screen at this point?
No, I have nothing
ticker-
like
Well,
that.
you're
Ticker
trying to
screen?
learn.
But that's what
You're
I'm trying to
learning.
learn about.
It's so hard
And
not to
that's-
look.
And that's something totally different than what this is. But just to put yourself like in the what if like scenarios that no one likes to listen to, but on Wednesday, would I have been happy at the end of the day cashing out and being 20,000 ahead and then deciding where to reallocate this money? Like after being $20,000 ahead? Fuck yeah, except for the majority of my gains are in ones I think are going to like quintuple even what they're at right now. So why would I, what's the point? Well, the point could be if you were someone that's trying to time the market. Thursday, shit's plummeting. Today, shit's plummeting for a while. At one point today, which is nothing to cry about, but I'm all the way back down to where I was at the beginning of the week, like 10-ish grand ahead. At one point, it slipped down to like 9,900-ish, and you're like, God damn. Like if I just sold Wednesday, that's $10,000. That's the jet ski I just bought, like paid for, gone. Then all of a sudden, one of the ones that I have a huge chunk of money in towards the end of the day, just an insane rally. I closed the day out back to where like 15,600 ahead or something like that. But at one point this morning, I was down to like 9,900. If you're a pussy that panics, like now you want to shoot yourself tonight because you just
Nobody
You're
wants to be
sold
a nobody wants
early.
to be a panic pussy.
Panicking Pussy is actually Brett's punk band.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah, they're.
Raver
I thought
Slip?
they're more.
That
of
was
a,
the rave.
I was
they're more of a
thinking like
thrasher
Cool
metal
Band-Aid.
type thing, but yeah, okay.
Anyway, so just however you want to tie. Like at one point, I could have bought everything that I'm in for much lower today, and but it just depends how much you want to do. So to have an amount of money for long term, and instead a small amount of money that maybe it's not day trading, quad screening, but maybe it's just following the patterns of a company you're interested in. And you see that every time it takes a nice boost, it comes back down and corrects itself. Like grab one knowing it's going to come back up and then sell it. Like Jaxon and I were talking, you make your goal $400 a day. Well, I have multiple that I've watched just spike in a day right after I buy it, $400. If that's what you're trying to do for your job and that's your daily goal, and you don't get greedy, you don't hold out for that last like extra 50 that or 100 that it's like, no, I just need to make $400 a day. You just always sell. If you're that disciplined, I could see someone being able to do that every day. And you're going to fuck up some days and
There's
not
probably a
make
ton
anything.
of people that do that, right? Like this is
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what would be
So my thing would be just never buy one even in that plan that if it does plummet that day, just never buy one that you would not be okay holding for longer, so that you don't have to panic sell because it's like you're playing with a certain amount, but if you almost have like a kitty that you play with where you're putting your earnings into, then on the low days, then you just start holding those and switch them into your long term or keep an eye on them for when they do come back, in my opinion. Because everything's so low right now, I feel like you have that luxury.
So are you saying right now? Okay, so say like somebody like me, who I'll work like a 12-hour day, and if I want to dip some money into there, and I don't want to be too aggressive, what would your advice be for something like that? Like, as somebody who can't like watch it,
ETFs.
Like.
But if you want to make it a goal, like let's say you're going to set aside a week's worth of income to start, just to give it a test run. I'm going to set aside a week's worth of income to play with every day to see if I can come out ahead what I make a day.
Mm-hmm.
Just gambling a week's worth of income. So if you lose it, well, who fucking cares? You lost a week's worth of work, you can stomach that. So just try it and see what you can do. Jackson's been playing with a smaller amount of money, and I've been telling him just focus on the percentages.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Like, who cares about the dollars right now to gain your confidence?
Mm-hmm.
You can also like even like set up a stop limit. So like if you buy a stock at like $18, you can have a stop limit at $21, and you that's easy as that. I mean, you don't have to look at it. You don't have to look at it. Yeah, you're out at 21 automatic.
And that's
sell.
a great way to stay disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, that's like a set it and forget it.
Yeah,
Type
and
model.
you could do that every morning. We have a handful that we play with that are like $2 and $3 stocks.
So you do that on like
Robinhood?
Robinhood? Do you do that on like Robinhood?
Mm-hmm.
What app do you use?
Robinhood.
TD Ameritrade.
Are you
E-Trade.
seeing how this
Robinhood
goes
is a piece of dog shit. But
right over my head?
Oh yeah,
no one includes Papa Klug on this, which I think it's great.
Skip, Jenny.
I love it. I love it.
No,
I'll get in the game. I'll get my
game.
pointers from this guy.
You know what I
'cause
did? You know what I did, John?
I like
you know what
asking
did?
him about it. Huh?
As I just set some money in the lap of TDK, and I said, "Make me some fucking money." And you know what he did? He called me a couple days ago. He said, "Guess what, DL? I made you some fucking money."
Hey,
You know what? So I'm good to go, man. So I like listening to what you guys got to say, but I also was very happy with just piling up some money in the lap of
out of curiosity,
Thomas Dennis Klug.
Out
and
of
I was good to go.
curiosity, was this Wednesday that he called you? Because Wednesday the market was on fire and I was $20,000 ahead. I'd be curious to have you log in right now.
What was yesterday?
Thursday, Friday, or like
see what
3%
that percentage
or,
today and
It was
yesterday.
it was Wednesday
red.
evening. He actually called me twice. Damn,
Wednesday was a great night to call clients.
Yeah, that.
Damn it!
He was on fire. He was a hero that night.
God damn it!
Gar-
All right,
I
get the guy on
guarantee
the horn
you-
right now and see where our fucking accounts.
we
are.
might have
I
to
don't
get
even
him
have a
on
login right now.
I
Get the account on the horn.
I guarantee you. Well, for example, and this is not bashing him. He's killing it in mine too. Like this is unprecedented.
Yeah, we did some
gains.
we did some MGM fucking stock that I think is
Yep,
doing
I've got some of that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I've watched it go up and down. Like I've been as high as like $900 ahead on $1,000 investment, and then as low as like $200. It keeps fluctuating. But once it opens, that's another one that's just going to go back to like $40, $45.
Right.
You have tons of people that work for the company buying it. Executive CEOs, they were all buying it at like $15. I got it at like 11, I think. But
Brett's talking about
You gotta
$100 a head. I'm out of work.
Dude,
Just
you
offering $100 for a head.
You gotta remember, I'm Joe Six.
that's disgusting.
You guys know what I mean.
I'm Joe Six Pack over here. Just fucking. I'm just rolling over a 401k into an IRA with Tom. That,
you're probably talking hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yes, and I'm not like watching it daily, so I can't watch it daily. So I don't have that like. But I like.
Well,
I think
that's why you have TDK.
I think that's fucking awesome. Yeah, but I think that's fucking awesome that you guys can like get into this stuff right now.
It's fun
during this time that unfortunately that you have where you should be being able to heal clients.
Yeah. I've been staying alive though.
I
mean, it certainly was less, but not, not like people that had to completely close. I've still got a website.
Have you been getting like call? Have you been taking like doing
calls.
like call consultations, like Zoom consultations or anything like that?
I have not done any Zoom.
You should do some Zoom
a lot
consultations.
Of phone calls though.
What do you think about that? Doing some Zoom consultations.
That's interesting.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
so you went through, if you don't mind, like kind of give us the ringer that the Wisconsin government kind of put you through a little bit here.
Oh yeah, sure. Do we want to get back to investments?
Sorry.
No,
I didn't mean to cut us off
there.
investments.
No. Let's keep going on the investments.
Okay. Let's go on the investments. Keep going. Sorry.
But yeah, I think it's a good like TD Ameritrade Robinhood. If you get like a stimulus check, I think it's a good idea to just put some money.
And
all of it if you can. All of it if you can.
With a couple we tell you.
Yeah.
And then you just
throw a couple of bones in.
I feel like I need to throw this out there real quick too, just as a because this is like what I need to tell myself. This is a nothing to it but to do it type of thing to get into. You know what I mean? So like if anybody's thinking about dabbling in this, I mean, Jaxon, you're 15 years old. You have got yourself a part-time job. You're throwing your money right into an Ameritrade account that took you 20 minutes to set up.
Yeah.
And you're making money. You're making money off your money that you're earning at your job. Like you're already
great lesson learned early.
There's no minimum that you need to get in on this.
No.
Let's all agree that Jackson's like a fucking savant and he's way ahead of the game.
He is, because I have nothing to do with this kind of
I was
shit
picking boogers and sparking joints at his age, so like he's awesome.
That sounds cool though.
I do remember buying stock at Jackson's age, and you would put in the order, and then like a month later you'd get a big envelope, and they were like legit, like fancy paper, like big Nike logo. John had Walt Disney.
Yeah, I remember his Disney. He was so proud. Dude, he was showing people when we show up at his house. He'd be like, "Look, I own stock in Disney.
Owner
Guys,
Disney.
check it out. I got a 35-cent dividend check."
He was also like super proud of remember that time when you had that Disney, you drew that thing at Disney. They're like, "Oh, they told me I'm like a cartoonist, basically." Remember that?
Yeah.
I can't believe you don't have that posted up in the shop right now.
I should grab that.
Yeah.
They have
Probably at Grandma Tammy's.
They have a swastika on the dividend check.
Nothing in the house.
But,
looking more and more like Tom Selleck every time I see
This
it.
guy is selling. Hey, say what's up to your fans.
What's up, fans? I'm adopting a alter COVID persona, 1980s Dallas. That's what we're going for.
Dallas Palace.
Yes. Dude, I actually tattooed a lady that had her high school reunion at the Dallas Palace. It's a classmate of hers.
Nice.
Just a fun fact.
That's awesome.
Dallas Palace. It's a corner bar and over there.
All right. Anyway, go back to stocks. Get us back on the stocks. This is good. This is good stocks. This is really good. Like
it's
info
an
that I don't hear
to
like
investing.
Yeah, because I don't hear about because this is kind of the cool little stuff. Like this was stuff that we were doing at the Boob Tree at Douglas Elementary School.
Picking
when
up
we
them
were
buffalo tongues.
trading cards, baby.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
making trades on cards, man. And this easily translates to trading cards, man. It's a real deal. Holyfield.
That's how
man.
Jaxon got into this. You should actually elaborate on that a little bit because that's how Jaxon explained card trading to me. Because that's kind of what got you into this, right? Is
Buying and
collecting-
reselling?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Which
the same.
at JTK Cards on Instagram, I think it's okay to throw that out there,
You
right?
can do
God,
that.
he hates
You can
that
do
so
that.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, I'll
Thank
let
you.
you do it.
I would have edited it out.
A lot of business are coming.
No, but since the feds are printing money out of thin air, I think it's good to maybe diversify. Put, me and bro were talking, putting a little bit of money into crypto, a little into stocks.
Should I play that quote we listened to?
Sure.
About
yeah. Wait, which one?
What was that?
Which one?
Right when we got here.
Has it been approved through YouTube's?
Yeah.
That tax money that the Fed is spending? It's not tax money. We simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
What? Yeah.
That's Ben Bernanke.
Simply.
Oh, dude, Ben Bernanke.
That the Fed is spending? It's not tax money. We simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
Ben Bernanke is
Could
the
you go
reason
into
why.
mine quick and do that?
Dude, fucking Ben Bernanke is the reason why 2008, like 3.5 million people lost their fucking homes. Fuck Ben Bernanke, dude. Ben Bernanke is a fucking evil son of a bitch. Okay, fuck that guy. Do you know any? What do you think about Ben Bernanke?
I don't know. I don't know much about him. I know he sucks. I think he was. Was he?
He was chairman of the Fed.
Oh yeah. I was just trying to think of what. He was Obama, right?
Yes.
That was appointed by him, and
Yep.
yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add to it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I think you said he's a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
All right, thanks for the
okay.
clip.
So, what,
Yeah.
synopsize that clip for us.
Jackson, would you like to
Bring
explain?
that. Yeah,
Elaborate.
explain that clip.
I don't know.
'Cause when I
that
hear Ben
clip right
Bernanke, I
there,
get triggered.
I do not know what that means.
I get
I
triggered
don't
by
know what
Ben
it
Bernanke
means.
as soon as I hear it, so I didn't even listen to what he had to say.
Marking up an account. I don't know.
It sounded like he
I'm
was
not
just
really
inflating
sure.
the shit out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's just kind of.
It's monopoly.
It's actually just
monopoly money.
a lie. It sounded like.
Are you saying that it's as much like how the Fed operates, where they pretend like they have $10,000 to every $1 they're given, or what is that anything like that, or?
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I don't even know. But
we
should
got off
get
on a
into
tangent there,
some
but we were
Yeah,
talking
sorry,
sports.
I got-
We were talking sports cards. And then
Crypto,
investing,
crypto.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, crypto.
crypto.
Oh, you're getting crypto. Okay,
Crypto,
here we go.
yep.
Here we go.
Yeah, I finally bought a. Dude, there was one night that I'm just sitting at home and I watch in March and I watch Bitcoin. I was on at 9:00 one night when it did the drop to like 3,800. I set my phone down after thinking about it to walk downstairs to ask Ash, like, Bitcoin just did an insane drop. Like, do you think we should just buy one just in case? Then you just got one. There's a finite amount. And she's like, I don't care. Like, it was basically like, I'm so sick of listening. Like, because I go back and forth on like everything. And she's like, just do whatever you want. So I go upstairs, consider. I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking buy one. And it had already just went like, pew, like 20 minutes, like all the way up to like 5,300 again. Where I'm like, I'm not fucking buying it. And now it's already like, I don't know. I think it almost hit 10 grand, and now it's like 9. And it's no big deal. Like, there's all sorts of places to make money and stuff. It's just the fact that it was such a small amount that it would just been easy just to grab one for that just in case. Where now it's like I'm trying to buy 1/10 of a Bitcoin at a time, like just to
All right. So now,
stack some up.
Now it's at close to 10.
if I may tell you what to do moving forward, your first mistake would be asking your wife, because I'm the same way. No. This is nothing against Ashley. Not that she's listening. What I meant by that was, give me a sec. Give me a minute.
Can almost assure
me
you
a minute.
100% she's not listening.
I would beg the difference.
She might listen to this one.
Yeah. Okay. You're just like me. Is you need somebody to make the decision for you. You know what you want to do. You need someone just to kind of give you the push over the edge.
Yep. I'm getting better.
Is that kind of
Ashley-
your fall guy? Then you would say.
Well, it's almost because you don't want to be the
just
only one
need,
to
You
like,
want somebody else to say
positive
like, "Oh, you
affirmation.
were cool with that."
Or just someone be like, dude,
Like a hype
I
man.
totally think you should do it. Yeah, just
Yeah,
I'm thinking about quitting
Or
my
fall
fucking
guy.
job tomorrow. Dude, you should totally quit your job. You'll be fine, man. You're the balls. You
Yeah,
do
that's
whatever
what
you
you
want.
want. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he asks Ashley, who's not even listening because she's probably listening to him do this all day. He just said he's checking his phone every 10 minutes. What you need to do in that moment is call Jaxon.
Right.
Yeah,
I've done
I
that
think that's
now.
a good idea. Yep.
Well, so it was just kind of funny the way I realized I missed my opportunity, and then so one stock I've really been looking at that I feel like has potential. Like I feel like sky is the limit. It might be one of those where you're like, holy shit, you bought that when it was $1.69.
Wait, by the sky, are you talking about the glass ceiling?
Yeah.
Is that really the price, or is that what you want it to be?
That's
Please-
what I bought it at.
Please tell me
and-
it's John McAfee's privacy cryptocurrency.
Dude.
No.
You're on.
It's
called
it's a stock called Workhorse, and we can tell you more about it in a second. But I was like, you know what? I'm playing essentially with like gambled earnings. I'm gonna at least take a nice portion and like put it in a new gamble that's like really fun. And I
That's
was
called
like,
the Vinny Chase mentality.
yeah, and I can relate to that. I feel like
You'll end up
So-
with an avion.
So I, in my mind, I was like, if you buy 10,000 shares of it, every time it moves a cent, that's $100 to you. That's kind of fun. And so that's what I did. And I mean, I bought it 3 weeks ago, and on Wednesday, when your broker called you, I was up 15,000 and some $100 on a $16,900 investment. It was feeling really good.
Find this fucking guy.
Dude, this guy. Just,
Oh yeah, to get back.
he just
to
knows
that.
how to have a good time, and I was just like, this guy knows stuff.
No, he's made tons of people tons of money. So you'll do great.
All he did was
It's
throw
just-
out Knickerbocker's name, and I was like, "You got me, baby."
I'm in. Well, so hilariously, I'm in a bunch of First Trust funds, which must be what you're talking about. So I'm sure you're in companies.
First Trust, love First Trust, Garage Trust. Son.
I'm sure you're in company stock, but then I'm sure a portion is safely in like First Trust funds that are well diversified, but take nice moves and stuff. And like, I'm sure I don't have as much money as you, but like, for example, with my dad, Ash and I just got some Roth started. You could contribute for last year and this year. The max amount you can put in is $6,000 a year. So we've got 24,000 in.
If anybody didn't figure this out yet, our dad is Dustin's broker.
Yeah.
TDK.
All I know is
think
like
that's
my
privileged.
my
Just making
golden
that clear.
my golden parachute. If the shit hits the fan, is that hopefully I will at least be able to party in Knickerbocker's fucking
Yeah, dude.
garage,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
I think you should.
Yes,
We're all
that's my
holding
golden
out for that.
parachute here. Okay.
Well, okay, so I started that like 2-ish weeks ago, and the 24,000 on Wednesday afternoon was like 26,200. So you make $2,200 on 24,000.
Positive.
Can't be upset with
Positive
that. That's great.
moves.
But like today, if you were to look at that account, it's like 1,000 ahead instead.
Oh, gotcha.
So it takes
Yeah.
wild swings, man.
Mhm.
There's no point if you're not gonna sell anything. There's no point in like even looking at it right
Hence
now.
the reason you probably he didn't talk to me today.
Why would you? Why would
Yeah,
you?
why would-
Yeah, because I said I was going to
That'd
talk
be
to him
silly.
today, and didn't talk to him today. So
He was probably busy.
We were
Yeah,
actually
whatever.
talking about that. How like if you're investing, if you're investing your family members' stock, like your family members' money, then on a green day everyone loves you, but on a red day your own family doesn't like you.
It's hard to even go home
Yeah.
if
exactly.
you live with your family.
We were talking about this over dinner the other night. You love it.
God, I love your dinners. I love your dinners.
We were talking about this over dinner though the other night. It's like I'd probably be a phenomenal investor because I am super irresponsible, childish, immature, and I'd just like throw a bunch of money into whatever you told me to, and I wouldn't pay attention to anything. So I'd just make the moves when you guys made the call. Maybe I'd just have you handle my.
You would be
Yeah.
much like an
Very small
investment hype
portfolio.
man. Like all it would take is one little like piece of positive advice, all in. You might bump some stocks with the amount of money that you can move into on hyped stock.
Once all
like
this bullshit,
That's
what sucks though. Once all this bullshit is over, it's like I'm not working right now, so I don't have the money to play with. But this is like the best time to get in.
right. Yeah, that's
So just
that's a
another
catch-22
way
catch-22
that this
there.
non-essential piece of shit
Cripes.
is getting kicked right in the nuts. That's okay.
But yeah, I would challenge anyone listening if you want to try it and have some kind of reasonable goal, take like Jaxon said, your stimulus check, and instead of blowing it on dumb shit, some speakers for your trunk,
trampoline. Are kids still into donks these days? 24s on a Cadillac DeVille.
Coach purse. Instead, take the, I mean, that would be an awesome amount to start with, but otherwise, at least take just a week's worth of income or a week's worth of fucking unemployment if you're getting that right now, which I hear is like $1,000 a week or something.
Living like kings out there.
Yeah.
So it takes something and challenge yourself to do a little bit of pick a company who's something you use and look to see if the stock's low. Look at the trend over the last couple weeks. See if you can kind of like detect a bit of a cadence in there to find a spot to get in. You could try to learn all the candlestick hype and stuff. The truth is, it still can go whatever fucking way it wants. So, and it is gambling, in my opinion. But as long as you're buying things you're interested in.
It's a definition of gambling,
yeah.
right?
So as long as you're buying things you're interested in, you're never going to be mad at yourself if it goes down because you're just going to hold on to it for a brighter day.
It's just like rooting for the Packers.
Nice one, John. Yes. So, so if you instead set yourself a daily goal, and your daily goal of gainings is what you make. But I'm a fan. Yeah. If that's what you set your goal as, like, and then you show yourself. Let's say you're not just going to quit your job if you have success over a month. But what if you show yourself over the period of like 2 or 3 years that you just consistently grew $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 into, you've amassed it into something that now you have something serious to gamble with, but you've developed strategies and discipline and can look to see what you've made and could make an educated choice. Holy shit, could I just work for myself and live wherever I want and not answer to anybody?
It's all about the mentality going into it, right? Like you said before, it's like you don't have to take like your entire life savings and go all in and you know, go nuts on this. You start with a small amount.
Yeah.
You maybe see the percentage, like you said, see that percentage going up.
Yeah.
And you don't get pissed at yourself like, oh, I could have put more money into that, made all this money. You just take that as affirmation that you got the right moves.
Right.
And you slowly build that up, right?
Yeah, and sometimes you won't. But yeah.
Right, sometimes you won't, but then at some point you're just going to have to shit your pants, dive in and swim, and it's going to pay off.
As long as you win more than you lose.
Yep. Over the course of like, I mean, every day over my first month, I had there's gainers. Like you can buy stocks right now that are $2 that will gain 60 cents in a day, and you can just cash out. Like, set your goal. So
that's a badass optimistic point of view. And I like what you touched on was that, like, hey, and that's like how a lot of people have thought with cooking is like, if I like this, somebody else is bound to like this, you know. So if I use this product, somebody else is bound to use this product as well. So I should invest in this.
Yeah.
And you have a very good, like, optimistic, you know, slow and steady point of view on it. What if I was somebody who wanted to make a quick, fast, you know, couple stacks and get out to try and prop up a business or something? Is that something?
It's a great time to try it. That's for sure.
Is
just play with money you could afford to lose, so that you don't kill yourself.
What if you couldn't afford to lose? This was your on the corner crack deal. All right. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing out a hypothetical.
Look, Dustin, if Brett was kind enough to join us on the show, you don't have to talk about his dark days dealing crack on the corner, okay?
No, I'm just throwing out a hypothetical. I'm just throwing out a hypothetical.
He's trying to put that behind
I don't think
him.
I've ever seen it.
Dude, John, I use the word hypothetical to try to hide what he's got going on.
Okay, that's on me then. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay, no one's.
No, but I'm saying if you wanted to take like a put it all on black type of scenario, what would you do?
Right now?
I
would put all my money on Workhorse and wait for a real green day because it takes awesome jumps.
What is Workhorse?
There's like leveraged ETFs too. It's confusing.
Actually,
okay.
Down to
Fox?
Yeah, no. Like, all right. So there's one. There's one I watched solidly through the month of March. This is it. It basically trades on the value of gold, but magnified. And I watched this one through the month of March. It's down at $8. This is something that's been as high as like $1,200, but it's at $8. For the life, I would have never. I told Jackson this. I would have never put more than 1,000 into it. But when I picked all of mine and threw money into it, like I hovered over it and I was like, just skipped it.
Sounds like you asked Ashley if it was a good idea.
I did not.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Overnight though, the other day it goes from $8 to $81. Where I'm like, man, like if you wake up and you even see 1,000 just turn to 10,000, like that's exciting. But.
Exciting.
Did you Brett, did you throw yourself out of the first story window of your house?
No, I'm so up on the majority of the other ones. There's no reason to like be upset about anything, but it's just that what if scenario is like, fuck, man, like that was very high on my top list when originally I'm thinking like I'll pick like 10 and put $5,000 into each one.
But
yeah,
Brett,
whatever. I'm a what if.
But yeah,
you
wake up and $5,000's 50. Like,
I've talked to Brett about this before, though. How like,
but I don't know. Like,
it's a fine line because as you're playing the game, and you hit big, like you've hit big on things. You trusted your gut, and you made some money. Going forward from there, you still are trying to tell yourself like, okay, I just gotta trust my gut. Trust my gut. Trust my gut. It paid off for me before. I can do this again. You're saying trust your gut, but then you're probably starting to wonder, am I being cocky? Am I really trusting my gut? Or now am I being cocky?
What's my gut? What if my gut's full of COVID?
Well, I had some bad chicken. Right. Is that my gut? What's going on?
Well, this is also true. The day before I bought 10,000 shares of Workhorse, Dad comes into the store and I said to him, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just lining up my picks. So like, I'm going to make the call. And I was like, to be honest, I'm thinking about just saying screw it and just throwing all 50 into Workhorse. Of course, don't do that. And I went to school. I have a finance degree. They would tell you not to throw all your eggs in one basket. But I made $88,000 throwing all my eggs into one basket. And so I was just very tempted. And had I, my 50 would be more like 100 right now instead of 65.
Listen to the story. Put all your eggs in one basket.
Dude,
there you have it. And then
that's
throw
basically
that
what I'm telling everyone out there.
Goddamn window.
Don't listen to any other finance guru.
Dude,
just throw it all into one you really care about.
You just feel bad
just ride
for
it.
Anybody who's got their money with that fucking guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Really gotta feel really bad, especially when they get calls on Wednesdays when they're getting fucked on Fridays. Okay. Turns out they're not even getting called back on Friday. Like I did the walk of shame Wednesday night. I was feeling real good, and then I came in here and I was just like, oh, guess what? I'm holding my heels in hand and I'm walking home.
I guarantee you're still up, and I guarantee if you never knew how high, like Jackson and I have said this too, like let's say I threw all my money. Let's say I would have thrown everything in April 1st and then not checked it again until May 1st, and not saw all the ups and the downs.
Yeah.
If you would have saw $15,000 extra dollars in 1 month without ever knowing it went to 20, like then you're completely stoked and it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, no. After that call, like it could have like my son could have fallen down a hill and like. I had a good time. I was still been like, fuck yeah, this is all good.
Yeah, when you're up a good 20, 30, 40%.
Yeah, it was
and then
good
it
to
rolls
go.
back to 15. It's
still good.
It's sour because you knew it got that high, but 15 is sick. Like you'd hope to make that in a whole year in many cases.
Is there a thing? Is there a thing where people will kind of give that good news and then just to soften the bad news
on purpose?
Coming later.
Oh, it's just a
thought. Not saying it's happening.
Just
but
like Jackson and I were saying, no. Like on a green day, it's an exciting day to call people. Just say, hey, just so you know, your shit's working, and it doesn't matter when it rolls back as long as the pattern. Many things go up and then come back down to test its new bottom, and then goes back up and then comes back down, and that's why they say people. You can get really screwed trying to time that, but you have people that will pick out 2 or 3 stocks and study those patterns to the point where they know it inside and out and just will only trade those and make money every single day doing it.
So you had mentioned like the 5 big days in the year. What are those like 5 kind of set days?
No,
5
they're
random
just saying
days.
if you looked back over the course of the market and just analyzed the 5 biggest days of every year,
gotcha,
if you
okay.
missed the gains of those,
Gotcha.
You're ahead. I mean, you're behind.
you're behind. But no, it's you can do everything, right? Like Tesla had its earnings report, they kicked earnings ass. Figuratively, like the stocks flying up after hours, and then as we were discussing earlier, Elon Musk throws a text or a tweet.
Yeah.
Because he's in a fight with his girlfriend. It must be over like material possessions and stuff like that.
Is
Like,
Elon Musk a good guy or bad guy?
The tweet's something about like gonna have to sell my house and all my worldly possessions. My
he
girlfriend
said that?
Grimes is mad at me.
Whoa, he said that?
Yeah, I'll show you. And then
It seems like a joke. I don't know.
right
Because
and then he
Elon
says
Musk,
the
besides-
Maybe
price is
that's
too
why
high.
he's airing just everything out right now.
Besides
He's
Bill
like,
Gates, Elon Musk is the only guy who can. Well, obviously just Jeff Bezos, but the only guy who can, like, smoke a joint on television or on YouTube and crash his stock 20 million points.
Here we go.
Correct?
Oh yeah.
not even inhaling.
My girlfriend at Grimes is mad at
20
me.
million points.
I am selling almost all physical possessions. Will own no house. Just one stipulation on sale. I own Gene Wilder's old house. It cannot be torn down or lose any its soul. Rage against the dying of the light of consciousness.
What?
And then he
Dude,
tweeted-
He's on
kinda
another level, bro.
What kind
Got
of
dosed
insecure, like,
He's fully dosed.
why is he taking to Twitter on a fight with
He went
at
from
Grimes?
micro dosing to full dosing.
That's also weird.
like,
John. Yeah, good point.
he is acid dosing.
Dude, yeah, is Elon Musk in 9th grade? Like, what's happening here? Why is he taking to Twitter right away? Like, girlfriend's fucking mad at me. Like, I'm selling all my shit, buying a van.
Well, especially, dude, because he's responding
Catch me on the
to
Starlink.
He's responding to like comments by like James O'Keefe, people saying like these posts that are saying like, oh god, COVID-19, these things are, they're making all deaths in New York. They're calling them COVID deaths, and he's just responding with like, this has to stop.
Yeah.
Like how
He's
ambiguous?
he's
how-
verifying. Yeah.
Right, but like we
It could
talked
be
about,
taken-
he's either verifying or not verifying. It's super ambiguous. Like, what has to stop? Is it the reporting that has to stop, or is it the
Well, if you
how
read-
the deaths are reported has to stop?
If
Like,
you read
it's
his
so
other
ambiguous.
if you read his other tweets, though, he's definitely on the side of the reporting and the
You think-
falsifying.
They're all ambiguous.
Yeah,
though.
because
if
he
you
did-
actually
he
look at
attacked-
them, they're
well,
I
the only
disagree.
thing that isn't ambiguous is his attack on CNN. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so he attacked CNN, called them like he said that they shouldn't even be in business anymore. Okay, he said that because he donated all the ventilators to California, and they said they didn't get them. He said, no, you got them. They were basically CPAPs. They were non-invasive ventilators, and then they were transitioning them to invasive ventilators, which is in itself kind of a fucked up little thing because invasive ventilators, once you are put on an invasive ventilator, your chances of survival drop by 80%.
Right. You're atrophying your lungs and
So-
your entire body.
So by him saying he was helping these people by giving them ventilators, he's also kind of, not helping them.
But he wasn't giving them ventilators. Those weren't ventilators. They were CPAP machines. Yeah,
right.
So-
But that was the whole that was the plan all
Yeah.
along. Was they transitioned them into invasive like actual ventilators that work your lungs. Okay.
yeah. So you would go from one to the other, or
No,
the
they can
ventilator to the-
they can make them into invasive ventilators. They can make CPAP machines, which are considered non-invasive ventilators. They can then transition them into invasive ventilators, and that's what they were doing. And they did that, and they tested them. And Elon Musk had the proof that he not only did he deliver them there, but they were also transitioning them and tested them. He had receipts and proof they did that. Gavin Newsom responded with he hadn't sent that out. He hadn't sent those ventilators. CNN piggybacked on Gavin Newsom, didn't fact check Gavin Newsom, and then all of a sudden you got Elon saying that CNN is putting out these false reports because they're just They're just Mockingbird. They're with Gavin Newsom,
Right.
and they weren't fact checking. They were just putting out this false narrative. And he said, "Hey, I got the receipts. They're transitioning. They've tested all these. They're good to go. They're now invasive ventilators." So he said, CNN, I don't know how they're in business. That's what he said. He said to CNN. So you would think, oh, wow, Elon Musk, good guy. But then you look at how Medicare pays hospitals every time they put somebody on a ventilator, they pay them $30,000.
$39,000.
$39,000. Okay? But remember, the chances of coming off of a ventilator is
20%.
20%. I mean, you're donezo. There are cases of somebody coming in.
If that was a stock, I would not
Not.
buy that stock.
Correct? And there are cases of people coming in
High risk.
fully cognizant of what's going on, and they put them on a ventilator, and they don't walk out of the hospital. Like, that's real. So is Elon Musk on the good side or the bad side? I can't tell. That's just where I wanted to go. That was a real deep, like, little rabbit hole thing I went on there. But that's just where I'm at. With like, is Elon Musk a good guy or a bad guy? Can't tell right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's a once in a generation brain. He's like one of those guys. Like, you'll look like 50 years from now, it'll be like the generation of Elon Musk.
That's what a lot of people thought about Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Say that. Bill Gates. Subliminal messages in his name.
Whoa. But, Elon Musk was also taking photos with, like, Marina Abramovich and stuff like that. He was at a spirit cooking party. You think about that stuff, too.
Probably just a big art fan.
Yeah, he's just into that. He's an alt art guy. He's an alt art guy.
Alternative.
Well, you wonder, like, what are these like the photos that we've seen from those parties and stuff with that chick, like, who is going to these? Like, Will Ferrell was at one of these fucking parties, which I don't doubt is elite. Of course, he's like elite level Hollywood.
He's
but
on
like,
Epstein.
he was in both those documentaries, Outer Shadows and Fall of the Cabal. Like, his photo was seen at those, but these are gigantic parties. Like, I don't know, man. What is Elon Musk? I don't know what that guy is.
Right,
But anyways, anybody who, like, and this is almost anybody, I would say, that subjects themselves to going on to Joe Rogan, which, say what you want about Joe Rogan, and his podcast definitely has changed in the last couple of years. But talk about just a grassroots following and creation, and everything. But anybody who's willing to go, what's that?
His Tim Pool episode was phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
I haven't listened to that. I didn't
So
want to
good.
cut you off, but I did want to. I thought of you when I was listening to the latest Duncan Trussell, because they're talking about CIA and Duncan's
I
going
just
off.
started that one.
Duncan's going off with all sorts of theories and, talking wild shit, and Joe keeps, like, trying to bring him back down, and finally it's just like, I know for a fact people that work for, say, the FBI listen to this podcast.
Mike
So
Baker.
that's obviously
Mike
what's
Baker's
changed.
been on the podcast
Yeah,
like
even
5
brings
fucking
that up.
times.
He brings that guy.
Right.
up.
You only you get so big to a point where he is dealing with a $40 million a year venture with just his podcast.
It's a cash register podcast.
And you are not going to shut that down. You're not going to shut that down just to talk about flat Earth.
Right.
You're not going to fuck that up.
So
Dude,
exactly.
But
he used
he's a
to.
smart. He
That's
used
the
to.
thing.
But
Yeah.
before it was 40 million.
Right.
All right. It's
Yeah.
no different than selling your stock.
Now
at
people
10,
come
20.
on to sell a book and to sell
That dude-
everything.
Right,
His
the dude,
podcast
dude,
still
think
entertaining.
about the guy when COVID first popped off. Think about the guy that came on talking about
from
wet.
northern Wisconsin.
Yes, think about talking about wet markets. He was pushing the fucking wet market, the bat, like that stuff has been proven false.
Mm-hmm.
That guy on there has proven false. That bat,
The guy
that
that
horseshoe.
talked about Lyme's disease.
Yeah, the guy that was that, like, and not
in Rochester right now.
yeah, and his like I thought actually the best part of that podcast was the talk about the Lyme's disease being passed. That all of
Down the corridor
Dude,
that we're all familiar with.
and
Yes.
every deer in New York that tests positive that has Lyme's disease is from Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Yeah,
You know, that area. I thought that was fantastic. That was the best part of that pod. But what was bullshit about that pod was him talking about those wet markets and talking about horseshoe bats that are confirmed to have not been at that market. That those horseshoe bats were a 900-mile flight as the crow flies, or the bat.
Why the fuck are bats flying
Wait.
like crows nowadays?
Yeah.
What about
That's just a phrase to say.
what about a
from
blue
point-
heron?
Or a shit, or a
they have
shit
a way
crane
bigger
out here
wingspan.
in Lake
They have
Country.
they have a way bigger wingspan, and that is not fair.
Okay.
All right. So you think about bats, how they're
so
flapping like
graceful,
this.
though.
Yeah.
Blue herons like this.
Right.
Yeah. No. So there are confirmed that they did not have those bats at that wet market, but this guy was pushing.
Who confirms that? Out of curiosity. Did you hear they thought? Did you?
That's confirmed by Epoch Times. That's confirmed by Epoch Times.
Like on
He
one
just
of.
gave you a shut the fuck
Epoch,
up.
Epoch Times.
No, I'm just curious.
That's good,
like,
dude. That's
where-
confirmed by Epoch Times.
I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I had heard the theory did someone that's like a guard at the Wuhan facility take bats that they were testing on and sell them at the market?
no.
You know, who knows?
That's also there's another really good YouTuber. I'll bring up her name in a little bit, but she also confirmed it. So it's confirmed by multiple sources.
But
Plenty of sources.
They just
that
confirmed that they were never there.
those bats were never there. The bats that they claim, the bat suit scenario has been confirmed by multiple people that was never the case. But what's funny,
How do you confirm that though? You look at past.
they don't sell. They have to do something register something at these markets.
they
they
do?
just sell bats. They can confirm that these bats weren't sold at this market.
Right.
That's confirmed.
It
So
seems
why do you think? Why do you?
seems impossible to confirm.
Is
in
it-
my opinion? But
Well, you know how you could. You know how you
couldn't
could.
the Chinese anyone say no?
Sure, sure.
The bats weren't here.
No, and I get that
But
100%.
you're saying that species is 900 miles away, and who would drive bats to the wet market?
Correct.
for
And
900
here's
miles.
another
Yeah,
thing.
900 miles.
Why-
That's not a good profit margin.
Right.
Selling
No,
at the farm.
no
Here's
one
another.
can.
Here's another question
Not
for
before
you.
gas plummeted.
Why, if this is the possible epicenter of a worldwide pandemic, why would you shut this down and clean it out immediately? The Chinese government completely shut that wet market down, got rid of everything immediately. Why would you do that? If you
I
could-
saw
if
the
you could
footage
trace-
of them using earth movers to bury the roads, so
Yeah.
you could not leave.
Right.
It's holy shit.
So why would you do that if that's not that's evidence tampering right there? Why wouldn't you?
Wait, so what are you
quarantine-
saying it was though, or what are we?
What
I
I'm
don't know
saying-
much about. This.
Oh, okay. Well, what I'm saying is it was a virus leak from the Wuhan lab.
That is what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think it was a leak from the Wuhan lab, and I'm not.
So you don't
convinced,
think this is on purpose?
Well, I'm not
'Cause how
sure
does
if it
that
was
make
on
sense?
purpose or not.
Oh, you think maybe
I
a
think
pharmaceutical
China-
company paid someone?
Oh my god, are you trying to put words? You trying to put words in my mouth, bro? If you would let me tell you what I think, I'll tell you what I think, man.
Let's hear it.
Enough of your
All right.
inferences.
Yeah, you are making very big inferences while you
I'm
fucking
trying to follow
puffing
the
on your
story.
fucking
We go
thing
off
there.
on too many tangents for me to
No,
be
we're
like,
on.
wait,
We're
Yeah, I've
literally
kind of let
just-
mine
Okay.
go. From,
Okay, so
Oh
my-
no!
this always happens.
This happened from Duncan.
Doesn't matter. No. Keep going.
No,
it did.
my
Happened
but
from Rogan.
go
my
ahead.
intent is that China
Yes.
was trying to keep up in the biological warfare because if you read, there's a book
Okay.
written by 2 Chinese colonels.
All right.
All right, okay,
Yep.
and let me give you the book title, and it's about
I'm not
how
gonna
you
read it.
fight an enemy who is superior to you, technologically superior to
Yeah.
you. And
You
here
make
it
'em
is.
sick?
You make them sick. You crash their infrastructure. All right.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
what happened? What happened was that they were trying to get biologically superior to them, and they had a lot of practices that weren't up to code, and that this kind of actually leaked. I think this leaked. I don't think this was on
early?
purpose.
This is too maybe. They
Yeah, I don't think this was on purpose.
Hmm.
I think this got out early. but they covered it up and they let this go.
Well, yeah, this is like the scene in the movies where it's like your right-hand trusted man has just sold it out the back door behind your back. Like the real mastermind that had super evil shit planned, like just got cut short on his evil plan.
Yeah, and that's why.
What you think.
And that's why. The numbers out of China. Nope, that's not what I'm talking about.
So it's
good luck on the
in
internet
China,
thing.
and then they decide.
Dude, learn how to use the internet, okay?
So
XG over here.
it gets out in the area it's made on purpose or on accident.
Well, they have. Well, if you look at the
Experimenting
virologist
with these diseases that are possibly able to be weaponized. They're fucking around in this lab because they're just fucking around.
Yeah, so
they're China. They do whatever they want. They're messing around with something, and there is an outbreak. Dude, there's like fucking.
Here's my notes. Okay,
Michael
so here's my
Crichton
notes.
books about this and shit. You know, it's just like one of those
Yeah.
like sci-fi
sure.
movie scenarios. This is kind of
Sure.
Yeah,
What-
so I got my note. I found my note. So Shi Zhengli
Okay.
was a genetic engineering. She had
tip of the tongue.
tip of the tongue, tip of the lips. She was engineering a SARS-like coronavirus.
Whoa.
She was researching it in bats. There was coronavirus in bats. Okay. She was focused on the S protein, which the S protein is basically like the key.
I'm sorry, Dustin. 1 second. This is a little segment we like to call Brandon Lamp has been triggered.
We're about to
Continue.
We're about to trigger Brandon
Why he really
Lamp.
gets mad?
Well, because he's got
gets
a
mad.
biochem degree and
What does he know?
Yeah,
Only what they taught him in
dude,
school,
he's
right?
fucking bullshit, dude. I think we talked about this on another episode, so he's gonna get
Last
triggered
episode,
twice, dude.
He doesn't like this as protein bullshit.
Brad
Okay,
acts like
so
he doesn't
anyways.
it. So anyway,
No, I
so
haven't-
she was
I haven't
fucking dude. So she was focusing on the S. So basically, her research was focusing on this bat coronavirus that wasn't transmittable to humans, and her focus was on the S protein, the thing that would make it transmittable to humans. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then
Bridging
magically,
the
this
gap.
fucking thing, this coronavirus, the epicenter is in Wuhan, which is 900, like a couple hundred feet away. This wet market was a couple hundred feet away from the stage 4 bio lab. That Shi Zhengli worked at, that was trying to make this. I'm not gonna say trying to make this, but she was figuring out how to make this transmittable to humans. When do you call a fucking like a coincidence not a coincidence anymore?
Oh, it
okay.
seems like way too big of a coincidence to me.
Sorry, I got
So
off on that
again,
thing.
but
My
there
bad.
is no theory right now how she did it, or if it was even her or someone
So
else
there's
in the
some
lab
weird-
that just decided I want to see if this shit works.
There is some unconfirmed footage of her on a subway that that's of her on her way to work or on her way from work, where she actually stopped off and dropped some liquid nitrogen that contained. She dropped a
Like-
bag. Yeah, it's unconfirmed video. I won't say it's real.
Like dropped.
She
and, like,
dropped,
broke
like-
open.
she
and
dropped-
went airborne.
She dropped what would make it airborne.
No
right
shit.
out. Yeah,
Is
it's
this person
unconfirmed.
still alive and still working?
Yeah, she's alive. Yeah, yep, she's alive, and she was until 2 years ago. She was funded by Barack Obama and the NIH, the National
Institute of Health.
Yeah, yep. They had given her. They had just pulled their funding a couple of years ago. So
Whoa.
yeah, there's a lot of coincidences here,
Mm.
man. I'm just saying, like,
All the makings of
it's
a Bond
crazy.
movie for sure.
Yeah, for real. This is like
Evil
sci-fi
villain.
shit. But
She's
look what's
Cut
happening
my
right now.
funding, Show you.
Look what's happening right now, though. Like this is something out of some crazy ass.
you got
movie.
Nancy Pelosi talking just nonsense.
Ice
man.
creams. She loves those ice creams.
Dude, you got the government. The government's just working against the people, man.
Well, I said this to you outside. It's the most frustrating part about this entire thing is like, why is the like default attitude for the liberal side of things trust the government because they've always have looked out for your health and safety, and look no
Yeah.
further than the pharmaceutical industry
Right.
because they have nothing but your best interest in mind. Like you question anything, and you're a racist Trump supporter, piece of shit. It's like, no, like I can call Trump a dumbass. I can make fun of the Republican Party too, but like This shit is bonkers.
Trump's a puppet to make people just focus their energy on saying that Trump's an idiot. And yeah, the things that Trump says is a lot of them are fucking stupid. But that's easy for people to focus on and say that he's stupid. Meanwhile, the people that they support are going behind their back and taking their fucking money and giving it to hedge fund managers and big businesses while shutting down small businesses so that, that CVS and Walgreens are already buying up mom and pop pharmacies right now. It's happening. Ugh. The small businesses are getting bought up already. It's starting. Yeah, dude. It is starting.
Yeah. They don't want you to have your own business anymore.
No, the world is going to be one big strip mall pretty soon.
That's exactly what they want. They want you to go into a Walmart and you don't leave until you've literally gotten your kids have gotten vaccinated. You've gotten your fucking fake meat.
This is 1984.
Yes, exactly,
dude. For real. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. We all know that Trump is just a stand-in for his best buddy, JFK Jr., who's going to come back and save us all once they take down these satanic pedophile cults. Okay, we can all still trust the plan, okay?
Well, almost getting back into the investments is like maybe there's no point in accumulating money anyways, because
that'll be the first thing that'll be worthless if it isn't already.
It's losing value every day while they just keep printing it.
Yep.
But then what is currency? Is there any currency?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Like
if the dollar bill is worthless,
currency will be currency will be bullets and food.
Currency will be whatever's on that government-issued debit card they're going to give us.
Oh, yeah.
So they can track.
15.
They can track our fucking purchases and anything you do, anywhere you go. Ooh, this might be a nice little segue into. I'll just finish my thought. Somehow I still hung on to this from 20 minutes ago. I was just gonna say earlier about like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, anybody who's like willing to go on Joe Rogan's podcast, like it's a pretty safe platform now. But
yeah, it worked out well for Tulsi Gabbard.
Dude, yeah. Well, but still,
Bernie Sanders.
Stop it. Just finish.
Both of them. Yeah. But that was my point actually. Those two, Andrew Yang, people that are at least in the game. Those are Bernie Sanders is old as fuck, but Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang, like, not that I'm a fan of either, but these are politicians that are at least willing to subject themselves to an open form conversation, more or less. That's a step in the right direction if you ask me. Not these fucking 30-second sound bites and 7-minute interviews and bullshit like that. So I'm just saying, Elon Musk, being the brain that he is, to go on that podcast, which was like the weirdest fucking interview ever. But even Joe Rogan said like he was a completely different guy until they hit record, and he just like went into like, but then MK he was like, ultra fucking weird. Like,
but then he started talking about robots will rule the world at one point. That's the scariest thing that we ever have to face, is that robots are going to take over the world.
I don't think you'd like to be me.
Dude, that was creepy.
You wouldn't like to be me.
I was as uncomfortable.
Like, help. It's like that Simpsons episode where they
uncomfortable.
Next, we're going to have an interview with a guy who said the hiccups for 45 years. Kill me. Kill me. That was basically Elon Musk, dude. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's crazy. But what were we...
I would have voted for the Tulsi and Jocko Willink. Dude, Tulsi Prez, Jocko Vice Prez. Dude, that would have been a badass fucking card right there.
Yeah.
I would have voted for that right now, fucking now, man.
No, even before this one, the independent runner for quite a while in the last presidential election was even on. Gary Johnson was on.
Yeah. Yep. Gary,
that was great. Step in the right direction.
That's all I'm saying. It's like the formats are changing. That's why. What the fuck is? How does Biden slip in there? They totally, dude. Bernie Sanders just got straight up butt fucked once again by. And then just falls in line. It's like the dude never even wanted it anyways.
I feel like you throw a piece of dog shit into the race when you know you're gonna lose, because I think they knew.
Yeah, because then, no, I think they're trying to like win with a piece of dog shit so they can clean up the dog shit and put in the person that they really want in. Like they're trying to,
like they'll just off them.
Right? Exactly. Whoa. Yeah, because dude, Kamala Harris, she's a fucking cutthroat, fucking bad bitch. Like they want her in so that. Dude, the Obamas...
Tulsi took her out.
The precious Obamas love Kamala Harris. they want Biden to run and have Kamala.
Those
VP.
Obama dudes?
Yeah. You got it, brother. Yeah, they just want Obama to run, and they'll just plug in whoever they want to actually run as his VP, and then they'll just declare that dude legally insane. Because
there's some weird
Can't
shit.
finish it.
If you've seen some of his recent interviews,
Dude, that one that was just like, he just like totally lost it. Like, he just talked himself in circles, just dodging the weird question of like, what?
yeah.
What?
So they were basically
Wait,
like,
why would we? What?
So
why would you ask?
If you haven't
for-
heard, so
Wait.
this Tara, so let's first of all let's give shout outs to American Pie Tara Reid for getting a resurgence.
That is 100% who I thought they were talking
She is,
about.
dude.
until I
She's
saw her
getting a
picture.
career resurgence right now because this other lady, Tara Reid, who has claimed that Obama or Biden assaulted her back in 1993.
Yeah.
Like, so the actual Tara Reid, she came out with this, and on which surprisingly very MSNBC, this interviewer asked Biden, he's like, so why wouldn't you want? Because Biden doesn't want to release the file showing that she worked for him during this time. He wants to keep that on hush. And she asked, surprisingly enough, why he would do that. And she said, so if you want to keep these, if you won't release these, then why would you say it's okay to not release your files while you're a Delaware senator? Oh, wait, sorry, I had that backwards. He wants to release, say she didn't exist. And then they said, why wouldn't you then release the files while you were a Delaware senator? Okay.
Can
So
we play
basically-
that? Can we play that on here?
Can we do that? Yeah.
They just want to command a search
I have
with
no
the
idea.
keyword Tara Reid
Yes.
in
Because
the Delaware
I'm
files.
not doing it justice for real. Like, it's a great soundbite. Here, I got it right here. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
The search of her name in those records. The search of her name in those records.
Approve a search of her name.
Yes, and reveal anything that might be related to Tara Reid in the University of Delaware records.
Dude, this is insane.
There is nothing. They wouldn't. They're not there. And if it's, I don't understand the point you're trying to make.
Can you imagine this guy in a debate?
The point
There
I'm
are
trying to
no
make is
personnel
that
records
you
by
are,
definition.
Dude.
The point I'm trying to make is that you are approving and actually calling for a search of the National Archives records of anything pertaining to Tara Reid. I'm asking why not do the same in the University of Delaware records, which
Dude,
have
I
raised
start to feel
questions
bad
because
for
they
this
were
guy.
supposed
Like,
to be revealed to the public,
what has he
and then they were
subjected
sealed
himself
for a
to?
longer period of time. Why not do it for both sets of records?
Listen to this right here.
Because the material in the University of Delaware has no personnel files, but it does have a lot of confidential conversations that I had with the president about a particular issue, that I had with the heads of state of other places, that would not be something that
Sounds
would
like
be
Ukraine.
revealed while I was in public office or while I was seeking public office. It just stands to reason. To the best of my knowledge, no one else has done that either.
I'm just talking about her name, not anybody else.
She's like, you are.
I just want her name.
She's
wanna
like,
confirm that she is
you
there.
just admitted a lot more than I wanted you to.
Hold on. It still goes.
Nothing classified
How do
with
you-
the president or anybody else. I'm just asking, why not do a search for Tara Reid's name in the University
Dude, his
of
face
Delaware
during this whole
records?
Look, I mean, who does that search?
Dude, you're just watching this like,
insane.
what? Even the lady interviewed is just like,
She doesn't even know she got so trapped by his idiocracy that she didn't know where to go from there.
Dude, you know
he
what?
made
Okay.
her look stupid because he was so stupid.
check this
that
out,
it went
dude.
to her like.
Did you watch House of Cards?
Nah.
Okay, I watched. I didn't watch.
Spacey's a fucking. Or is that Don Cheadle?
No,
That's
that
Don
was
Cheadle.
that
That's
was
Don Cheadle.
Spacey. But like,
That was
I didn't.
Spacey.
I didn't watch. I didn't watch all of it, but I did, dude. It's pretty interesting because just like so much other shit. It's
I will watch.
predictive programming.
I've heard it's really good. I will watch it. I will watch
So
it.
there's this dude that they, like, a dude like what seems to be Biden, not running for, he's like a senator or something, and they hire a hooker to, like, because this dude's a partier, drinker, cokehead, but, you know, super charismatic guy or whatever, but they know all his weak, so he's trying to get his shit together. He's got kids, they're propping him up to be like the next dude. He's got this big interview on, you know, whatever. The next morning, they hire this hooker, like, to, like, meet this dude in the lounge. And she,
I don't know what hookers do. Tell me about them.
She, like, ask your financial advisor. They, so, like, this chick, like, you know, basically coaxes this dude into partying, gets into all the bad shit. This dude gets, like completely, have you seen this? Yeah. This dude gets completely, like, fucked out of his mind. I'm explaining this probably really brutal, right? But he, like, starts drinking, like, oh, yeah, he just ends up, like, having a full-out party, doesn't set an alarm or anything. He ends up, like, getting woken up by his, like, campaign manager the next morning, just like, get the fuck out of bed, like, you're gonna be on air in 45 minutes or whatever. And he's, like, wasted, like, completely, like, blacked out, just like, and they throw him on air anyways. He's like, no, I can do it. And that's what he sounds like on his interview, just, like, fumbling through his words, just, like, visibly fucked up, like, out of his mind, tanks the whole interview, but they did it on purpose. Like,
yeah.
He got honey potted, like,
huh?
He got honey potted, kind of.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's based. That's kind of the definition of honey pot.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you. I could have just said, dude got honey potted. Maybe that's what they're doing to Joe Biden. But, see, I didn't know that. Yeah.
No. Joe Biden will be getting honey potted 24/7.
Dude, is that what's like? Obviously, they're propping up a dude and they're trying to hide the guy right now. That's what's so fucking weird about this whole thing, man. Like, that all this stuff happening at the same time, that, like, everything that is going on right now leading into November, like, what is going to happen here?
I just think he's just an old, senile idiot. I don't know. I think he's tied up in a lot of shady shit. And I just don't understand why he's the guy, other than he's connected to all the high up cabal kind of people.
Isn't he just more of the same?
He's been a corporatist since day one, dude. He's
career politician.
He's quoted in 1984 in his run in 1984 as saying, like, they wouldn't vote for me because I tried to whore myself out to them, but they wouldn't take me. Like, he is quoted as saying that. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro.
Speaking my language.
Like, he literally said he tried to whore himself out, man.
Good Lord. I don't know, man.
I don't know. A lot of people don't know that he ran for president in 1984.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. In 1984, he was laughed out of his presidency because he quoted verbatim
his presidential run.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Verbatim, he quoted JFK. He quoted some, like,
just plagiarized, not quoted.
What I'm saying is without giving them their plagiarized. Thank you,
right.
Thank
just
you.
Straight up stole it.
Plagiarized. Yeah, he plagiarized JFK. He plagiarized a well-known UK dude. I don't know, some English dude. But if you just all you have to do is look up, like, Joe Biden plagiarized 1984.
Prince Andrew.
Joe Rogan talks about it all the time, that they had, like, a comedy night, like, in Boston called Joe Biden Night, where they would just do each other's acts or whatever. Yeah. It was called Joe Biden Night. Like,
are you serious? That's real?
Yeah.
I remember hearing that.
Like, he tells that story all the time. Like, but yeah, dude. Like, so who is this guy? Is he just like?
Think about that for real.
But now this dude is in
Joe
the fucking
Biden
race against apparently the most horrible man to ever have walked the face of the earth, Donald Trump, and this is the guy they're propping up to take the Don down.
Well, not only is he against Donald Trump, but he was originally against Bernie Sanders, who was for UBI, which is exactly what everybody else is saying they want to give to America, and what Donald Trump kind of gave to America originally. Like, dude, if that isn't the epitome of the Democratic Party kneecapping one of their own, like, because that's what we're going through right now is what Bernie Sanders wanted to give to us. I think the American
right.
But I think the American system is based off of being like like, oh, we could do it on our own. We'll pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. We'll take care of our own business. But wouldn't it be more American to say, like, we give everybody money to take care of all the stuff that you have to worry about so that you can then go off on your own venture, okay? So if you have to provide food for your children, school for your children, housing for your family, and the government said, hey, we'll give you this money to provide for you so that you can then go figure out what you want to do and provide a service for people. But wouldn't that be more American?
That would be more American, but what you need to have happen before that goes into place is a government you can trust. That's what I'm saying. Is like this is just Shiva talks about this shit, man. Yeah. It's like what we have right now is career politicians that's exactly what they're looking to do. They're trying to enter the game to make a career out of it, to play the game. They're not entering their position to represent the people. They're trying to make some money, kiss ass, and get to the next level. This is like your standard like management mentality. It's like you take a management role. I've said this before. Like you take a management role, what you should be doing is representing the people that work directly underneath you, and you're the middleman between upper management and the workers.
Much like
right?
a union rep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could take this in any company, right? But what ends up happening is the people that apply for that job, well, they don't have interest in representing what makes you take that job in the first place is like a pay raise.
You want to get the hell out of what you were doing.
Yes, you get the hell out of what you're doing, and then you see the ladder.
Yeah.
What you're willing to work up to. So what you should be doing is taking that position. What would be doing the right thing would be to make changes, represent the people underneath you, but that is rarely what happens. What really happens is you kiss ass to upper management so that they do right by you so that you're up for the next promotion.
Yeah.
This is how fucking politics works.
It's let me see how much I can screw them so that you can bump me up a little bit. Like I did this for you.
Exactly.
So the way it should really be, just like with politicians, is you should be expecting to go back to that work, and that's why you are trying to improve the conditions, because you are them still. Like you are going back to that.
100% correct.
You're trying never to go back there the way it's set up.
100% correct.
Yeah,
and
because politicians are made to represent the people that they are their people's voice,
but they never come back to
right.
us.
But they were supposed. It was originally set up as one person from the village that goes, claims, they preach their village's voice, and they come back to their village, and they let them know what's going on, and they still work their family farm.
Yeah. So here I am, ready to get cruised, which is exactly what Shiva wants to do. But for Shiva for Senate.
Shiva for Senate.
Now they trade on insider information, and they get payouts.
Okay.
And then
so I was just
count on jobs from banks. And
I was just going to touch on one of the most successful and most corrupt and just most backfire marketing most successful marketing scheme that just backfired on all the people. Hope and change. Everybody bought into Obama. He's a new guy. He's a person of color. He's young. He's just like us. Hope and change. Hope and change. Dude, there was no change. There was no change at all. Shit got crazy. That is the perfect example of the person that you thought was really going to turn this shit around.
Took us from 2 wars to 7.
It was all the same
bypassed
shit.
the Senate by just calling them conflicts instead of wars. We went from 2 wars to 7 because he bypassed the Senate by calling them conflicts instead of wars.
So
we were in 7 fucking wars once Obama took over.
And somehow this dude is still looked at like he's just a complete hero now. And let me just take this back real quick to what we're dealing with right now. Why all of a sudden during all this? Because I know, okay, let's just say, yeah, sure, Donald Trump's a piece of shit. anybody who's trying to be president is most likely a piece of shit. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, nobody trusts a politician. Why all of a sudden is now there's this, like, whole fucking controversy between left and right because this has been politicized on everybody wanting to trust the narrative that's being shoved down your fucking throat. Like, I don't get it. Like, why now are we stopping being skeptical of the government and a little leery on... What's wrong with asking questions? That's the thing. But if you question the narrative, and then same with I'm repeating this is where John repeats himself. This is the same with
Tell
all
me
these
again,
Keep
John.
on going.
John's gonna repeat himself,
dude.
and then later, keep in mind later,
What?
Brandon's
John's
gonna
pee
Brandon
himself?
Lamp's Brandon Lamp's gonna get triggered.
I'm getting close to peeing myself as well. But I'm just saying, it's like you got these protesters that are all just labeled. You know, if you're protesting the quarantine, you're a Trump supporting racist. But these, dude, okay, I am gonna get into this. I'm gonna totally repeat myself.
Stop labeling people.
Get into it, bro. Get into it, man. Because you know what?
It's a lot of small
get into
business.
it.
What I'm saying is there's three small business owners in the room right now, 2 of which have been deemed to shut down. I would hope that a lot of people that are showing up to these rallies are small business owners that are just asking questions. They're, nobody's saying this virus isn't real. That is definitely not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
Correct. That's the
people are
other
showing
pot.
up to
Everybody
exercise their free because we're getting our freedoms taken from us. But what's not helping these fucking protests is the dudes that are playing fucking dress up, bringing their AR-15s and flak jackets and little bandanas and like shooting goggles, like acting like they're trying to threaten. Dude, it's like you're not helping. Keep that shit at home. Like nobody gives a shit. Like, yeah, okay, tough guy, we get it. You have a fucking handcuffs
those are
and
the jarheads that didn't get to fire a fucking bullet during the fucking, the Persian Gulf bullshit, whatever.
What's that?
Like, no, whatever. Don't.
Oh, well, I'm
I
just
got a lot of
saying
friends
that's who's showing up to these
everybody.
rallies. That's who the media is focusing on. They're totally taking away from what the protest actually is. I don't know the fucking right answer to this, by the way. Like, I have no idea. I'm just saying, like, I'm so sickened by how this has been politicized and it's turning into the divide and conquer because it's just all the people that really should be banding together right now, fucking fighting with each other online. You go out in the real world, and people are pretty chill, I feel like.
Correct.
But online, there's all this. It's just so fucking annoying, man. And what's gonna happen? I mean, me and Jaxon were driving around earlier, and I'm just like, you see certain things and certain what certain people are doing. It's just like, man, like, you know what? The human race really is just fucking disgusting. Maybe who gives a shit? Like,
we were driving and saw the Burger King line. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Burger King line.
Yeah.
We ate there. It was good.
Jaxon just was like, I guess I'll just go back later. Yeah. No.
But no, that is... I mean, we kind of ate there a bit out of necessity. We didn't realize you guys were going to be 25 minutes late. We would have got some better shit if we thought we had more time.
We were 15 minutes late, by the way. It was 8:15 we pulled up. 8:15.
Either way.
Yeah.
I would have got Sobeys had I known we had more time, is all I'm saying.
When are we ever on a timeline? Come on.
Yeah.
We didn't want to sit here with a full spread. Coming in late. If we were
It's probably good.
we
had just
but
the
yeah,
right amount of time to
it all worked out. It's fine.
Yeah.
But no, that's a perfect example. I even said to Jaxon when we were in line, a dude in a van that seemed to be holding up everyone. I was like, "Did you just see that?" And he's like, "No, what?" I was like, "They just handed that dude 4 bags of shit, and he's still sitting there waiting for more stuff." Like,
maybe he's heading to a homeless shelter.
So,
yeah, maybe he's heading to a construction job site. Those dudes are hungry.
It was Evan. Yeah,
might have been me earlier today.
Yeah. Or it might be Evan advertising for free food. It's your local construction site. Get free food.
We legit picked up 20 cheeseburgers today for the boys. So it might have been me.
Yeah, 20 cheeseburgers. How
Awesome.
and how many?
Awesome if you picked up right in front of them.
yeah,
How
you have
many
a black
Modelos?
Honda minivan?
So
Wait a
lighting
minute.
was off.
Wait a minute.
The
I
lighting
had
was
my
off.
sunglasses on.
oh shit.
all right. So where are we going here? Where are we going?
Oh
with
no,
this?
I was just saying like, yeah, human race, pieces of shit. If you want to say that,
I wasn't calling. I wasn't.
If you look around,
If you
see
eat
all
at
the
Burger
concrete,
King, you're not a piece of shit. I was just so
Absolutely not. If I was the guy
surprised
to go Whopper.
that when you're the 13th dude in the drive-through line, aren't you just gonna go somewhere else? Like during this whole fucking thing.
Not at Culver's on a Friday, bro.
This is Burger King, man.
Right, but I'm just saying, not at Culver's on a Friday.
That's true. People are loyal to Culver's. Is Culver's we consider that local?
I don't
Yes,
like Culver's
that's-
that much.
That is
anymore.
local. My
Okay,
okay,
I take a league.
yeah, that's Shaniqua. Okay, my question is,
Do you know they got another brother in the insurance he like bucked the Culver trend, and he's like the CEO of MGIC in Milwaukee or
Really?
something. Yeah, so he's a Culver brother, but
it was crazy
instead
because
like makes bank doing something else.
Dude,
instead. It's
MH
like, how are all these guys rich?
dude,
Right.
MH's like grandma babysat for the Culvers. They had
Wait, who?
adjoining.
What?
Mackenzie?
Is that true?
That's true.
James'
via
mom?
him. Via him.
What is their name
That-
again?
He just called him grandma. She
Something
just called
so
him
sweet,
grandma.
though.
Like grandma.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
Well, she lived for a long time.
Wait, is she?
I
think I knew that.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Dude, with it, she like
Sweet lady.
they had an adjoining farm with the Culvers.
Wow.
Yeah, she like hung out with the Culvers kids.
No
like
way.
the Culvers like the kids that end up making the Culvers franchises. Like,
Right.
yeah, she hung out with them. That's kind of crazy, you know.
That is crazy.
So where do we go from here? Where is like?
I mean, it
What-
sounds
what
like
happens?
universal basic income's on the table. If that comes out,
What's the point of going
I might
outside
just,
anymore?
yeah, I might just
But
need
then,
a
like-
garden and a kayak
But
to be
yeah,
happy. I don't know.
right. You just said it because like so.
I don't need
possibly,
very much.
So possibly all of this trading that you're doing might be all for naught because they're just printing
Might not
funny
matter.
money because like Rashida Jones or God damn it, I said Rashida Jones again. Rashida Tlaib.
Quincy's wife?
Yeah, dang, dude, I did it again. Rashida Tlaib wants to print $2 trillion coins and just put out $2,000 a month for everybody.
You heard that?
Yep,
I heard that. I heard that.
The
That's-
chargeable cards
no, like
that every citizen just gets.
oh yeah, the $2,000 a month. Yep,
Yeah, so,
exactly.
like-
and they'll back them by $2 trillion coins.
Okay.
They're just gonna print literally $2 trillion
We'll
coins.
just go into the computer. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're
Basically.
well, no, they'll mint them. Don't worry, they'll mint them.
We'll make
they'll
them.
be
This
they'll
one's worth
exist.
$1 trillion, and that one is.
It'll be just like in The Simpsons
Better lock
when
that up.
Burns had like the $500,000
Right.
bill or $500 million
Dude,
and
yet another
Cuba.
prediction.
Yeah, dude, and like Castro had his hands on it. He's like, no.
I
Like,
haven't seen it. but-
dude, they're like, yeah, they're like, she literally said, we'll just print $2 trillion coins
We'll
to
just
back
throw $2 trillion more into the economy.
some funny money, bro.
Whoa.
Funny money.
Yeah, the way I understood it, like every just citizen would just get $2,000, like
On
and
a
then-
debit card.
and then that continues to get charged. I'm like, wait a minute, if everyone just gets that, then how is it worth anything?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
No one wants to work. No one's. How are you gonna go? No one's working restaurants. No one's.
Yeah, all the money that like what Zach brought up last time was the whole debate between. So they give the small business loan to a business to keep them afloat, but then they say the rider is you can't fire anybody. But then they say, hey, guess what? We're gonna give these people $600 a week extra on unemployment.
top, right.
So then you've got the business owners who are keeping their people on payroll, and the people on payroll are saying, "Nah,
Dude,
like you're
no.
I'd be
screwing
better
me
off.
over."
Yeah, I'd be better off fired. So then they
So
just
they're
start
fighting
doing
each
crazy
other.
Shit.
Yeah, so they got employees fighting small business owners. So they are literally doing it so perfectly. It's so magically perfect. The way that they are creating this collapse. It's so perfect.
So what are we trying to do
What's
here?
going to happen when every single one of us is in a van just driving around delivering Amazon shit to each other? How the
Yeah.
How the fuck are we all gonna have that job?
Sounds kind of dope. Yeah,
As long as you got the dopest van, that van life I hear is like a big Instagram thing. So as long as you got the dopest van life, you're good to go, bro. You just gotta Instagram your van life out there, like
Tim Pool, man. Going back to Tim Pool.
Yeah, Tim Pool. He did his van, like he's living that van life. Also, one of our friends.
Brett just blew his own mind. He's like, what?
That's a friend of ours. He did a van thing too, but yeah, Tim Pool. He's got a bug out van, like that's real. Like he drove across country to talk to Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
This shit's weird.
My most hippie friend like does vans now, and they look fucking awesome. He's only on his third or fourth one, but
You gotta get that Uncle Rico van, son.
what is that? Oh right,
From Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah.
Get a good old Baja stripe going.
sure.
Shout out to Old Five and Dime Sign Company, Fort Wayne, Indiana. He'll get you a nice Baja stripe going. Also paint your storefront.
Sick.
He did the Creep on Us Brickview tattoo painting up there.
Sick plug.
So old Five and Dime Sign Co.
Five and Dime sign co.
Old Five and Dime.
Old Five and Dime sign co.
I might,
Yep.
yeah, that's
At
sick.
Old Five and Dime Sign Co.
That's a sick sign.
On Instagram.
As long as Lake Country CBD is going to be Waterstone Bank's featured store or like small business of the month or something like that.
Congratulations,
Whoa.
man! At
really-
Lake Country CBD.
I really messed up
on
presenting
Instagram.
whatever
Yeah,
that
hey,
title
let's hear it
is.
for.
But yeah. Thank you. Not sure what all is going to happen with
we
that.
got a
Is that where you
Waterstone-
worked?
No.
Oh.
I know a couple guys that work there.
Oh,
Their
okay.
tagline is so stupid. It's all here for you.
Yeah, they sing it.
So what Evan meant to
all
say
nice.
was, "Fuck
Hey.
Waterstone Bank." Yeah.
What
Psych.
guys? You know? I know a guy named Austin. He's great. No, I know Morgan. He's the president of the bank. Dude, it was.
I've heard good things. I think it's a good bank.
I mean, as a CBD store owner, after getting kicked out of 2 other banks, to get a letter from them inviting, like, saying they want my business, I threw the first one away because I was like, yeah, right. They send this to every, like, new business and don't realize they can't do business with me. But then she followed it up with a phone call, and I was like, maybe you don't realize, like, it's kind of like a weird thing with banks. I seem to like open accounts and then they just get closed. And she's like, no, I've got a full-on questionnaire. Like, we know all sorts of stuff about the industry and we're ready to take cannabis accounts. And I was like, holy shit, like this is awesome.
Sweet. Yeah.
And
Cannabis,
but yeah.
Cannabis Accounts. That was Brett's death metal band in college.
So anyways, I forgot what we were talking about before I added that. I don't know if I've said this on any other podcast. We are also on the best MKE list as like a top area store.
Multiple
that little
accolades.
post. That
Right?
was dope.
Now
man.
tell real quick about Best MKE though.
They are like, it's like a group of 100 people, I think. Yeah. 100 people that like go into businesses that they were gonna essentially shop anyways in restaurant. You know, the list goes on and on. And it's
a coalition
basically-
of customer
Thank you.
service investigators.
Yeah, they don't want it to be a popularity contest, like, oh, it's just all good reviews from your friends and stuff like that. They anonymously go into businesses and then meet and
Sleuths.
like kind of like rank like what they felt like were good spots. And so like the other 2 stores, like we were top 3, and the other 2 stores are in Walker's Point in Bayview. So for a best of Milwaukee list, this is bstmke.com where you can see the lists.
BSTMKE.
To be on the outskirts of what I would consider like Milwaukee area,
Probably the furthest possible.
probably the
Couldn't
furthest
be
possible.
any
Definitely the
further.
furthest
Couldn't be.
business on that list from what I could see, like out of anything, like restaurants and all sorts.
I'm
of
fairly
stuff.
certain you could be on the beyond the break point of Lake Michigan, and you'd
Right.
still be closer than here.
Right?
to
Yes,
MKE.
yes, that's true. But yeah, so that felt good too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Congratulations.
So this is not how we.
proud of that.
This is not how we wanted to. Thank you.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
So John too. This is not how we wanted to be celebrating our like 1-year anniversaries,
No.
but
No, in fact,
be
I
back.
guess if I can dig into that, and maybe this will take.
Oh
us
yeah,
down
that's a
somewhere
good. That's a good way to keep
when this
going.
shit all kicked off, it was like March 17th. I think the emergency order came in that businesses are shut down April 24th. I knew.
No, March 24th.
March 17th it went in for April 24th.
Oh,
it was going to be
until
lifted.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I knew right away that ain't happening. April 24th. I knew it. I said it. Maybe I was being a negative
100%.
Nancy.
No, you were right. You're right.
And squared.
Like a lazy Susan.
Oh,
Negative Nancy. No. Maybe I was being negative. I knew that wasn't going to be the case. Then it was like April 15th. They kick the deadline out another month, May 26th. I still think that this date is a carrot on the stick. John is repeating himself again.
Dude, we've talked about that a bunch of times. If you say to everybody it's going to be 18 months right now, everybody revolts right now. But if you say it's going to be a month, if you're going to say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
While we're
everybody's like,
used to it,
yeah.
does
What
it
I
seem
was-
too crazy?
Yep, exactly.
What I was going to get into, though, is... So right away, I see a lot of other tattoo shops and stuff that are doing, like, gift certificate specials. You know, like, we'll give you $150 for $100. And just to kind of, like, keep things going for the shop. Fuck no, dude.
No.
I thought about it for a minute, but at first I was like, why should I be offering discounts because the government shut me down?
Yeah.
I'll just wait this out a month. We'll see where we're at. And don't get me wrong. I love and appreciate my customers. Brett, you know this. I have a personal relationship with many people that come in to see me. We have a good time here. Lucas that I work with, one of my best friends, great guy. Does not talk to me since the since the quarantine.
I've seen him several times.
Oh, really? Oh, son of a bitch. Anyway, tell him I said hi.
I never hear when I stop by.
Actually, I texted him. He actually did get back to me the same day. It was like a 10-hour gap, but I always do. Anytime I talk about him on the podcast, I put him on blast a little bit. I just want to see if he's
not
listening.
Yeah, he ain't listening.
Of course not.
He's a busy guy.
But anyways, so I didn't do that because also there is a big part of me that doesn't think it's coming back. There's a huge part of me that doesn't think tattooing's coming back at all. The way Evers is being so strict that we even extended 11 days past New York. Wisconsin is extending their thing 11 days past New York. Like, why would I want to take a bunch of people's money if I don't even know I'm going to be able to... It's weird, man. It's just weird. And you don't know what to do. There's so much uncertainty in this. And I've been open a year. April 1st was like the 1-year anniversary of like actually doing business in this space, which is now just Brickview Podcast Studio, Brickview Tattoo on Instagram. But it's just weird. And I'm not like getting down about it. I'm just trying to prepare myself for, well, what do I do next? You know, like what? It's a possibility because that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around is how will they bring this back? The emergency order, who else was looped in with that was hairstylists, nail salons, barbershops, you know, all that kind of stuff. How do
hairstylists not come back?
How are they going to slowly roll this shit out? And don't get me wrong, I mean, there's shops that are opening up because
Atlanta,
correct. All of Georgia.
We've all heard of that.
Yeah, right? Oklahoma's opening up.
Sure.
I think Maryland is opening up pretty soon. But how are you supposed to open up and conduct business doing hair or a tattoo while keeping a 6-foot social distance?
I don't think you can do that.
I don't think you can.
But you don't do that in many scenarios right now, anyways.
Right.
Take the disgusting
which
Burger
is
King
just
drive-through, for example. You hand that dude your card. They're
is
bare
just-
hands.
these are
That's
just
going back into your wallet.
Dude, these are
You could take
just
that
some
10
of the
places and put it
many
all.
contradictions
Stupid.
in this whole fucking thing.
It's all one giant
bullshit.
hypocrisy. Just
Right.
one giant hypocrisy.
But you can't say that's what's so fucking annoying. It's like you can't say that or talk about this without basically by default choosing a side.
yeah, they're
because
they're shutting down mom and pop shops, which have only a few customers. But they're gonna say like it's okay to shove 200 people, 300 people into a Walmart. That's fine.
Right, to funnel us into the big box stores, like, and then like looping back into the investments for a quick second. where we're getting super crafty, in my opinion, and really looking into nooks and crannies. You could have easily doubled your money just investing in the most obvious shit when this started.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes you doubled your money. You'd be up 60-70% in Amazon. You'd have doubled your money on Shopify. You would have, and the list goes on and on with the obvious shit. Domino's, like dumb shit. Netflix.
Anybody that offers online stuff. For sure.
So,
But
who
especially
knows
probably
what
fast food restaurants. And like you said, Domino's, like that totally makes sense because that's another thing too, is like we talked about this, how a lot of the businesses that are absolutely like, dude, fast food restaurants, they don't give a fuck about their dining room. Like they're probably just as busy in the drive-thru anyways, and people are still gonna go there. But it's the mom and pop shops that are getting fucked because they're putting. Go ahead.
I was gonna say what we had talked about with people that will really lose are the awesome little mom and pop, like the place where you can go get a fish fry and an old fashioned. The little places like they're not going to
taste like shit after it's been 20 minutes in styrofoam on the way home.
Not only would it taste like shit coming home, but they're not going to start an online business because those little places didn't have an online business to begin with, and they're not going to start one for this. So they're gone.
Right. It's culture, man. You know, like that's
true.
Dude, you have a...
Well, I don't know. And I talked about this yesterday when I was in your driveway or your house. And they're already sending people... I haven't gotten one yet, but people are getting their stimulus checks or deposits.
I haven't gotten mine yet.
There's free money being thrown all over the place. The money printers are going... like while we're talking. Yep. So money by the second is becoming less and less valuable. Like, I mean, I really want like one of those Tesla Cybertrucks. Does the price of one of those stay the same once everyone's just getting $2,000 a month? And like, what makes most sense right now
is inflation.
Right. So what makes sense right now to me is spend every damn dime you have on super cool shit, because before you know it, like,
rack up the credit card debt.
Like at some point, what if they just say, "Hold, everyone's just you got whatever shit you got," and now
they hit pause on the game.
Max all your credit cards out on with cool shit that you can use from home if you can't leave your house forever.
Dude, you're in the fourth quarter.
Money's worthless, and now you just have your objects. That's it. That's all that matters.
Quick at the pool, in the sauna, in the gym, and every other dumbass thing you can think of, because you're not. If they're going to start forgiving loans and offsetting all sorts of things, why do you got to pay those credit card bills?
Ball out.
That doesn't seem to matter.
Ball out. Ball out.
I don't know if I got the guts to do it, but...
Well, you got a family.
But if I was on my own, I'd probably roll the dice on that one.
If you're Dustin Lamp's financial advisor, I say fucking... Ride that bitch.
Okay,
up
I
into
love
the
this
rocks.
joke, but yes, in all honesty, to clear the air, he has made tons of people shitloads of money on all sorts of shit. So I do feel like you have invested wisely.
I feel
of course he has.
I feel good. Yes. Yeah, I feel.
Tom
joking aside,
Tom Klug is a regular guest on this podcast. We love him so much.
Why wouldn't
and he's supposed to come back for a repeat because we got to come correct on.
We were talking about Tom Klug.
CEOs. He had the CEO.
The CEOs.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about Tom Klug this whole time.
Oh shit!
Shit, I was talking about Tom Knickerbocker. I was talking about Tom Knickerbocker. Shit. Yeah, he was supposed to come back with that inside info on the CEO information.
Yeah.
Which is just what do you think about all those CEOs bouncing? 30 CEOs, Fortune 500 companies bailing.
I think it's fascinating.
Because isn't it, if you had some inside info and you're dude,
I loved the conspiracies kicking up about like, oh, Bezos sold all this Amazon stock right before the coronavirus. He got all this fucking money. Is like, he lost money actually by selling those because his stock is up a shitload right now.
He didn't sell shit.
He also didn't step down as a CEO.
Right. Also true. No, they were just talking about it was along the lines of CEOs stepping down. Also, how many CEOs sold off massive amounts of their stock right before this happened.
The thing was that the CEOs that stepped down were CEOs of companies that were built to lose money in this whole thing, and that did lose money.
Sure,
I'd buy into that. And their payout would have been based on the stock dividends, and they bailed at the peak, and they knew that it was about to take a fucking massive hit.
My favorite are all the senators that were in on coronavirus meetings and bailed early February, and were like, "What? I was just going off general news. The virus sounded very concerning to me."
How is that not illegal? How are they not arrested right now?
Well, that's one. That's just yet another thing wrong with our system, dividing them from the people they're supposed to be working for. Anyway, yeah, that's criminal in my opinion. You basically should have to take a pause, in my opinion, from your finances, whatever you are invested in, while you take office. You shouldn't have to cash out, blah blah blah. You should have to take a pause from those investments. Essentially, you should have to cash out, but there should be some sort of government fund that instead guarantees you a solid return of whatever the market average has been for the last, let's say, 30 years.
Phenomenal policy, Brett. That is a great idea.
We will take your finances, put them into our fund. You will earn 10% while you're in office. You don't have to worry about getting behind. You will make what the average American could hope to make if invested diversely in the stock market.
We want to make sure your bitch ass is in this for the right reasons.
You'll probably get killed for saying something like that. Because, like,
too logical.
That's too logical.
That was way
I'm already
too
worried,
logical, but that
I'm
was...
already worried that I revealed the Amazon delivery driver plan.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm basically a part of it. I'm a subsidiary of Amazon.
Holy smokes. Yeah. I'm already done. I'm an investor in Workhorse. I hope to be making your delivery vehicles.
I will just continue to be the workhorse and break my back for pennies. Thank you.
Hell, man. Yeah. Any updates? Any updates?
Updates on UPS. Yeah, let me give you some updates on UPS's safety precautions and what we're doing to persevere through this COVID-19 while committing to our deliveries. We are doing absolutely nothing for our employees. There is no hazard pay. Also, no required PPE or temperature checks. We are basically going about this business as usual, as if nothing is actually happening.
Holy smokes. Meanwhile, Menards just said that they're requiring everybody to come into their store.
It's not picking up.
With a mask?
Menards is requiring everybody to wear a mask that comes in their store?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Shit, I was like, oh snap, Home Depot's right across the street.
Oh, so I wonder if the grocery stores are now.
What's going on with this?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Hold on. Jackson, can you get on the...
What?
Oh, I probably hit that. Oh.
Yeah,
I
Is
just
that the old on switch?
The old on-off switch there.
I don't know. Dustin's handling the fucking mic like Steven Tyler tonight.
Doing a classic fucking guy. I'm just doing like a... I'm trying to keep Evan.
I'm
trying to keep Evan around. I'm trying to keep Evan at mic ready at all times. So basically, I just grab the mic whenever I want something to say, which is all the time.
I love it. Yeah. It's working out well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I went into Menards today, and they turned a guy away for not having a mask on, and luckily I had one in the van, because occasionally I'll have a customer that's a little like, they want you to rock the mask. So I had one. I was able to go in and shop, but I hate it. I hate wearing those things, and I don't. It's just weird, man. I don't like seeing everybody wear them.
Grace had to rock
like designs, and
Oh yeah,
it's just weird.
Grace had to rock a N95 at work today. Nice. Said it was pretty constricting.
Yeah.
Really, puts a good grip on your face. I don't know. But you got to do it. I mean, she works at a fucking dentist office.
How the fuck do you not get extra money for working right now?
Check
when someone
this out.
On
Okay,
unemployment
thank you
gets
for
extra
asking,
money.
Brett. Why the fuck? We talked about this with Zach.
it?
I'm a fucking Teamster, man. Why
Your
aren't
neighbor?
the Teamsters? What?
Your neighbor?
Zach?
No.
Oh, no. No. KGB LLC and I were talking about
KGB LLC.
Yeah. Like why aren't the unions stepping up and lobbying for some extra cash? Dude, Trek, shout outs to Trek, Waterloo, Wisconsin. They're paying their employees $1.50 extra an hour.
What the fuck?
And they're doing temperature checks and all this stuff. Still not enough if you ask me.
$1.50?
So, shout out to Matt Gross.
Still not enough, but hey, let me tell you, that's $1.50
bike.
more than UPS is doing for its employees. It's fucking bullshit, dude. It's fucking bullshit.
$1.50 is bullshit too.
It is.
If someone on unemployment gets an extra $600, okay, you know why unemployment is an extra $600?
Dude,
it's because it's not minimum wage workers on unemployment anymore.
Right.
You have tons of white collar employees that are now on unemployment, and they're like, "Oh, you have way fancier shit, and you need way more money, so we're gonna give you enough to pay your bills." You really think the people on unemployment for $380 are able to pay all their bills?
Well, dude. Yeah.
Come on.
Zach, that was a
Brad, come on with that.
So that's, I don't know.
Well, that's what Zach was saying. Is like
crazy.
They came up with $600 because that's based on a 40-hour a week. I hope I don't make myself look like an ass.
This is like $50,000 a year.
Right. $15 an hour. $15 an hour, is that $600 a week?
$15 an hour is $29,000 a year.
Well, $15 an hour, 40 hours a week is $600 a week. That's how they came up with that number.
Oh, and then you get.
But that's an average.
We'll give you the dog shit that we give all the other like sweepers and fast food workers that get fired. Like we'll give you their measly check too on top of that $15 an hour.
Exactly, but you gotta.
That's so messed
this
up.
is an average. That's the average. So that means that they were hammering this home on propaganda report shoutouts. Come on, Monica, just come be a guest.
Yeah, just get at us.
That means that half the people that are getting this $15 or that are getting this $15 an hour now unemployment weren't making $15 an hour. You got people that are making maybe $7, $8, $9, $10 an hour that are now all of a sudden making $600 a week. What fucking incentive do they have to go back to work? They want this shit to. Those are the people that are screaming like stay at home. Why the fuck are you guys protesting?
I need 2 years of this shit.
Yeah,
and
because they're better off.
At the same time, minimum wage is bullshit, and can you blame them? It's
Dude, no, Brett, no, I can't, and that is not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I wanted to give you the chance to say that.
Oh yeah,
that's what I figured.
That is definitely not what I'm saying. It's a sweet deal from them. It's fucking gross because it's basically like you're the Democratic Party is like buying these people's votes too, and the only reason that I'm bitching is because I got a foot in both camps.
Yep.
I have a small business.
Screwed for having been responsible this whole time. Essentially, is the way I look at it.
Funny you use the word essential. Yes. I'm half essential. I'm essential here. I'm not essential here. I have to shut down my own business that I invested in myself in, not asking for fucking handouts, but I still have to put myself in harm's way and my family at risk. And,
because you've been doing the responsible thing this whole time, or I should say you've been going a step above being responsible and having a second job, a backup, if you will, because you own your own business, a steady source, no matter what, with all the benefits that a normal job would come with.
When really, if I only had...
If instead you had committed to tattooing when you started this business, you'd be collecting $987 a week right now.
This is what I get for being a bitch. Yeah. See?
So I say you go into UPS Monday morning and you start just taking a dump on some of those on a box.
Yo, man.
Couldn't I just not show up for a couple days?
I think you get fired for no. This will make it go quicker. You might have to do it 2 days in a row.
Okay. What's cool?
You are my older brother, and I will defer to your judgment. So yes, I will do that,
dude. You might have to not necessarily take a dump, but you might have to look at certain
maybe a shit
piss. No, just look at certain.
You get a shit piss would probably be an automatic.
No, I would say look at certain names and ask them if they want a soft pretzel.
Go in drunk.
Hi, would you like a pretzel?
You get fired if you go in drunk?
Just give them a little soft pretzel.
Well,
I don't think they'd fire you, actually. I think you've done that many times.
Those are your words, not
mine. only every time the Blackhawks or the LA Kings won a Stanley Cup, baby.
There's 3 goals in what? 3 goals in a minute and 17 seconds.
Minute 17, baby. Yeah.
There's always at least 20 minutes of sleep before I gotta go in.
2015 was lit.
Dude, my supervisor was just not impressed that next morning. He
I
just looked at me dead in the eyes and he goes, "John, now that the playoffs are over, can we just count on you to show up on time?"
Dude, how many days
you live 3 damn minutes away?
Yeah. Dude, I learned
my ass.
Dude, I learned the whole UPS how the interpersonal relations work. I was like, can you get a day off tomorrow, John? Or how does that work? Or Dude, we're about to go into OT. Can we get a day off tomorrow?
Yeah. I was basically like, I probably could get the day off tomorrow. I think I'm just going to go for it. You know what? I think I can do it. And I'll be damned.
We did it for the Kings, too. You're welcome, Jaxon.
Dude,
sleeping through the whole
that,
thing.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
that was-
when the Blackhawks won,
mistakes.
actually we were hanging out with Pete Casbo that night. He was at the house against Boston. We thought we were looking at a game 7 or game 6, game 7.
Game 7. It was game 6.
We thought we were looking at a game 7. Blackhawks score 3 goals in a minute and 17 seconds. Me and Dustin both had to work the next day. They win. We go nuts. I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, let's think about this. So that was a clinching one. But let's think. What about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
I was going to talk about
Tampa Bay Lightning when we won and we had the Stanley Cup when you had the apartment right next door to the former Brett Klug residence.
I was just going to quick talk about our text message conversation that next morning, like on the way to work.
This was the Tampa Bay one. This wasn't the Bruins one.
No, the Bruins one where you were like, I hate the Blackhawks. I hate hockey.
I'm pretty sure that was
life.
every time they won. Because our motto was Blackhawks. You know, we were talking with Tommy Madden. Shouts out Tommy Madden. Love you, bro. We kept
Iron T-Bone, 88.
Iron T-Bone. We're like, fucking Blackhawks hate the working man. Fuck. You know, because they would they would go into OT they would do it. They have like a 2-goal lead in the third period, and they would just go into OT just to fuck off the working man. No big deal,
dude. So bring this back though.
Yeah, good deal.
The fucking NHL, all these like the NBA, NHL, MLB, that all just got chopped. But especially NBA and NHL, it just got like dead stop. Season's over.
3/4
are
of
done.
the way through the season. 3/4.
Isn't that just fucking crazy? And that, to bring it back again, that is the reason that I don't think tattooing is very high on anybody's priority list. If they're fucking canceling March Madness and shit.
That's too.
And acing baseball.
$2 billion.
Well, you have been talking about how you'll be up for a full-time job at UPS at some point here soon, where you'd still be done at 2 in the afternoon, so... You responsibly always have a backup plan, sounds like, John.
Always hedging my bets, never believing in myself completely. John Klug.
I was trying to
I'm a piece of shit.
I was trying to let the listeners figure it out for themselves.
I'm a piece of shit that's banking on Jaxon making all the right moves, and my wife really making it in the dental game here.
I think
Love
that's
you,
a
honey.
safe bet.
Yeah.
I think I was telling Jaxon he could have $100,000 easily before he's done with high school.
I'm
the
sure
moves
he will.
he's making right now.
And I can't
It'll be
wait.
interesting in
And
4
with the
years
time
looking
we're in.
back on listening to this.
I was writing down some goals with mine the other day, and all of a sudden I was having a great day, and I X'd it out and just threw an extra $100,000 on there because I was like, why the fuck not? Every time I've like decided to think bigger, it more than less doesn't disappoint me.
Baking powder? What did you say?
Threw an extra
what?
$100,000
what?
on
Yeah, I
your
had an
goal
amount-
or $100,000 monies.
I had a how I was talking about earlier, kind of like an investment goal, something I was hoping to hit by the end of the year, where maybe you'd start making more trades, trying to get further ahead if you're lagging, like trying to keep some direction in it. And then I crossed off the amount and added $100,000 to it because I thought these are crazy times and why not?
What was the
People
original
make
amount?
crazy
Like
money all the time.
$150. And you're like, you know
No.
what? I'm gonna make that 100,000.
No, in all honesty, my goal originally was just to turn 88 into 100, and I already passed that if I cashed out. So I was like, okay, well, I got a lot of the year left, so I guess I'll multiply that by the rest of the time.
Dude,
left.
I got mad respect for that, and can I do that with my checking account?
Well, it's funny you say that because so it's not a year ago, but it's probably like 14 months ago that I was in your living room and rhodium was worth $2,500 an ounce, and I was like, dude, you should just buy like 3 or 4 of them.
See,
I'm
don't
telling you,
fucking remind me about that. I think about that daily, bro.
Brett, please continue with the story.
it was right before I was coming here to work on the remodel that Dustin and I were having a good CBD smoke session. And
mind you, I was laid up with an
No,
ankle
man.
injury, saying, basically like living off of insurance. So I was like, I didn't have. Like,
but I knew he had money in. I knew
Yeah.
he's been a company man for a long time,
Yeah,
so I
sure.
knew he had loot somewhere. And I said, dude, you should at least gather up like 10 grand and buy 4 of these. I'm telling you,
How
it's
much-
not too late.
how
right
much
now.
Dustin
how much
is
money would
shifting in
you-
his seat,
how
becoming
much
more
money
and
would
more
you say
uncomfortable
how
as
much
Brett
money would
continues
you
to
say
twist
I
the knife.
don't- I lost on that.
Oh, it's nothing to like lose sleep on because you're already
Just tell
making
me.
money with Tom Clue.
Right? No, I make money. No, I always make
Nice.
money. But how much money
Yeah.
would you say if at the time you told me
If you would have just listened
Yeah.
to me and said, "All right, Brett, I'll
Correct.
trust you and I'll gamble 10 grand," you would have been able to sell it for like 42ish.
that's good money. That's
It would
that's a
have been
solid
32,000
that's
in
solid
a 12ish month period.
Yeah, dude. That's
So a little shy of 3 grand a
dude,
month
because
ahead.
I had never heard of rhodium until you and I were hanging out and just having a good time.
Many
off of
people
some,
have said that.
dude,
now.
off of some great Secret Nature CBD, which you can find at
So good.
Lake Country CBD, and dude, I was
The
having
new puck looks like medical cannabis.
It
that I
is,
just got.
dude.
It's
Those
fire.
photos that you've been putting out there are
The new cartridge that they got is fire as well. I will say that.
God.
It's a personal plug.
You know how
Believe
much
me.
I love fire.
Delicious.
I love putting fire to fire.
But yeah, either way,
So you've been on that rhodium for a while.
I couldn't have gotten out at a better time.
Oh, you're out now.
I sold it all about 4 weeks prior to coronavirus.
Goodness, I've heard precious
Yeah, that
metals
was
have been
good.
just skyrocketing lately.
But rhodium it's
It's not.
reliant on the economy doing well.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not really considered a valuable precious metal
Yeah,
as
let me check the price.
far as like
Oh.
collecting. I'm gonna guess roughly 6,500 an ounce.
so I would have what
That
I would have
would
done
be,
is I would have put
based off the 10 minutes.
So
ago.
it's-
I would have
maybe
I would have put a stack on it. Because you would have been like put a stack on it. I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll put a stack on it, and then I would have came out with a couple, maybe 10 G's on it,
Yeah.
and then I would have been like, hell yeah, 10 G's sitting on it, and then I would have done nothing with it, and then I would have been like sitting on 1,000 back on it,
Dude,
like with nothing, because
right.
I would have done nothing with it.
There's examples like this for days, and that's just the fun gambling aspect of it. Like someone was in my store in May that had bought a brand new Tesla, like paid for it cash, was so stoked on it. But had they bought Tesla stock in May and waited until September to buy their Tesla, they would have that cash they paid for their Tesla. If instead in stock they sold the stock in September, they would have been able to not only buy that Tesla, but have the exact amount of money to decide to buy another one or keep it, plus the original money that they originally bought their Tesla with. So essentially what I told you, it tripled in 3 months. You would have been way better off buying the stock than the car.
Hindsight's 2020, my friend.
That's
It's
crazy.
nothing is truer than that as well.
Did you get into Tesla at that time then?
I did not. I didn't have any money yet.
Okay. Well, because you were fully invested in your business then.
And rhodium at the time.
Well,
It had all my money.
Of course.
What was Tesla at? Sorry.
At the time,
Yeah.
it was I think it was even below either 329, but even I want to say 329 in
Mhm.
Mayish.
Now it's like
and then was
700.
900ish in September.
Nice.
What bumped it up so high?
The Cybertruck is what ended
Yeah.
up.
You
Mhm.
really?
Really ramped it up.
So, but if I throw a ball bearing at the Cybertruck, it's gonzo. It's
Dude,
done.
think about how much press he got because that window broke.
Yeah, right.
Instead of had it not broken.
Really?
It's
That's
really
what
a,
I think.
It's
I
really
mean,
a
it looks-
stock.
Him
It
staying
looks-
on stage. Oh fuck.
His yeah, no, that's cool.
But you know what happened, right? They bashed the door with the sledgehammer first,
Yeah.
cracking the window base or whatever.
No,
they
I
said,
get
or
it. I
weakened
think
it,
Oh,
or
likely.
what.
all of its concepts and everything are dope as hell. The way it looks, shit.
No, dude, it's the fact that
Wait, you don't like
could,
Minecraft?
Dude, I think that thing looks like it's like 3 bricks stacked on 7 bricks, baby.
I think it looks
No,
kind of sick.
I think it looks awesome. I think it's.
I think
it looks sick.
You ain't gonna convince me of this, okay?
It's 64 grand.
I think.
you disagree with me, we're not friends anymore.
Okay, fine.
I think it's cool
It looks
because
like awesomeness.
there's nothing to break on it. It doesn't matter if the asshole next to you slams their door into the side of it. You don't have to care. Nothing's gonna happen.
Much like a flat black Bonneville.
All that kind of stuff. But I also drive cars right now that are 15. Both are 15 years old and have been paid for a long time. So I don't care about cars at all. That's what I'm trying to
both
say.
Lamborghinis.
1,000 miles on it right now.
How many?
270,000.
Nice. Yeah. Ours are both at 200. I see no need to like have car payments and like there's no one I'm trying to impress with my car. At some point I'll need a new one for safety, and I love the idea of something that is very safe. But you could also
is a Cybertruck?
The Cybertruck, I think the one you'd want is like 80ish, but you can get it for less. But those Model 3s, which are some of the safest cars you can get, I think you can get their base models for like 30-some grand, 32, 34, something like that.
Can I haul a dump trailer and a bunch of shingles and
that Cybertruck can,
throw like 15 dudes into one?
Yeah,
like,
I know that Cybertruck can. That Cybertruck's a beast. That Cybertruck's a beast, right? Like,
have you ever seen one drive?
What's the towing capacity?
One?
yeah,
They're not out yet.
Oh, they aren't. Okay.
You could see Elon in one in California. And that's
what was the towing capacity of one of them?
I don't know. They were better than the Ford. They were like They had they chain them up and they drive both ways, and that one just
they did do a test, and that it did outperform a couple of vehicles, which was surprising because I was like, this thing is a fucking looks like a piece of shit.
Dude, like it's like, I mean, you can lower it, you can raise it. The entire bed is illuminated and has like the pull-out trailer to just drive shit up into it, and it
when
can
will they come out,
enclosed. It's not supposed to be till next year, so I'm sure it'll be like another
I'll have to wait. I'll have to wait till I can get one used.
So it'll probably get.
Dude, if the
you're gonna use one about 2025 for about 110K.
That's what I'm hoping. Like set up for that. There's no reason to have an electric car right now if gas is.
Dude, the Nailed It truck is a Cybertruck. That'd be so dope.
Man, or we just lose business left and
Dude,
right.
can you imagine?
People would think we're like driving up at some Nintendo 64 game.
They might expect you to be wearing high tops.
The steering column is replaced with. It's a Nintendo 64.
Mario Kart, playing Mario Kart. Dude, but imagine now, like, what a Tesla, if you're driving it balls out, gets about 170 miles to the charge.
I thought it was
like,
370.
No, it's 370 if you're driving like a fucking grandma.
No,
I love my grandma very
Cybertruck
much.
you can drive like 300 something. They said
The Cybertruck you can.
Yeah.
Towing, or is that not towing?
Again, I don't care about cars enough to know any of this stuff.
Neither do I. But
I don't know how we got it.
questioning
Yeah,
this
I don't
here.
know any of that stuff.
I just care for Evan's sake, man, because he's gonna buy one tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can't. You can put $100 down on it, but that's it.
What if he got into rhodium fast?
What did you look up the value? I'm curious.
Yeah, 7,200.
7,200.
So not that
interesting.
bad. No, but
Yep, it's taking some pretty radical swings. Well,
I'm really tired. I'm just trying to get. I am.
it was probably the
just gonna
Burger
be
King.
honest with y'all.
I think it was the Burger King.
We're doing another
It's not
three
exactly
piece.
brain
We're doing
food.
another 3-piece tonight.
Yeah,
Probably already did.
We're on par for it. No, we're at 206.47 right now.
Close it off here. Jackson, what do you think? Take us out.
You want to take us out, Jackson? This is Evan's favorite, all-time favorite.
Dude,
part.
what the?
Why? What
Jackson,
do you
take
do?
us out. Jackson, take us out.
He just likes it. Jackson closes out every episode with just like it just takes us out.
Yeah, Jackson takes us out perfectly every time.
No, I don't.
Just
First
think-
of all, I
okay.
don't know what to say.
Think about the stocks.
Yeah, dude.
Go with
Okay, just play your money wisely. We don't even know if it's gonna be worth anything in a couple weeks, but you know, if it is,
That's sad.
that'd be cool. Thank you, Brett, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Let's hear it again
Yeah,
one more time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having
Thanks,
me.
man. Yeah,
Had a lot of
That was
fun.
good. I thought you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the stock advice. You know, thanks for bringing me into the
Oh,
world.
We are not. We are not.
Please
oh,
take nothing I said as
Wednesday.
advice.
Yeah, no.
Wednesday.
Yeah. This is not financial advice. This is my own. This is just my
Yeah.
opinion on things.
Yeah, please don't take anything
Yeah.
I said with any grain of certainty.
Except when it comes to CBD, Brett Klug.
I will tell you all
At-
sorts of stuff about
Lake
that.
Country
Get at
CBD
the
on
plug the
Instagram.
CBD, dude. Plug the CBD.
Dude, in all honesty, I just got a text 2 days ago to someone that I did a home delivery for that said, text message said, honestly, I did not expect to feel this good this fast. I hate telling people stuff like that because when you are someone that it's going to take longer for, that's discouraging to hear when you're not feeling good after you've taken it.
You're not in this game to make a quick buck.
Me? Not at all.
Fuck
I don't
no.
care if you buy it today. I don't care if you buy it from someone else and decide it's shit and you want to come try it from me after. It seems to happen to me sometimes.
Doing the right thing.
Yeah. Thanks, John.
Give website and Instagram, please.
LakeCountryCBD.com. There's a tab that says, or like a box that says shop now right on the front page. And then there's also now a tab that says web shop to go right to the store. If you don't see something on there that you're used to buying or that you want, particularly like the smokables section, I don't have on there basically right now. I don't know who's 18 and who's not, and I don't know if I want to take that risk.
Well, question: Are you still splashing some of that coconut oil on there? You got that? You still selling that coconut oil?
I do have the coconut oil,
Dude,
and it is on there.
I will tell anybody that's over 18, if you want to have a good day at work and you get a little bit of that coconut oil, you put a tablespoon of that into your morning coffee, you're going to have a good day at work. All
Thank
right?
you.
Yeah,
I would,
that's fantastic. It's fantastic. Sprinkle a little bit of that in your coffee, you're good to go.
Awesome.
Jaxon, anything else?
No, I think that's that.